Well, well, well. So, they said that George Pickens was not going to show up. So many were hoping that George Pickens was not going to show up. So many want to defend that if George Pickens don't show up, then George Pickens is justified in showing up and that George Pickens should not show up. And it's funny to me. People are acting like Clarence Hill. People are acting like Clarence Hill broke this story on George Pickens. Clarence Hill ain't broke no story on George Pickens. Jane Slater been done reported this on George Pickens, and I told us that George Pickens was showing up for training camp. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Yeah, George Pickens is in the building. Let's go. George Pickens is in the building like I told you he would be in the building. What did I tell you? And people kept on denying the truth. And they're still out there. They're still out there with those fake narratives. But George Pickens knows what this is. And I love what George Pickens is doing. George Pickens continues to prove the naysayers wrong. Every last one of them, including the negative naysayers. The people who want George Pickens to act a fool. The people who want him not to show up. The people who want the drama in Dallas. It's strange to me. The same people who were running their mouth about George Pickens last week, they're moving the goalpost. I told y'all about people. You know what the problem is? That's the problem with people. They can't handle the truth. They don't want answers. People keep saying, oh, well, tell me this and tell me this. No, they don't want the truth. Bottom line, people don't want the truth when it comes to George Pickens. Let's see if we can get this audio switched up. Hold on. People don't want the truth when it comes to George Pickens. Bottom line. I'm just telling you the truth about people. They don't want the truth about George Pickens. People don't want the truth about George Pickens. I'm telling you, these are the facts. They don't want to admit the facts. But I'm going to admit the facts to us today. Going to show up. All right, let me see if we got this audio fixed. Let's run it back one more time. Let's go. I told y'all. They don't want the truth.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the
They
truth.
can't handle the truth. They can't. And this is why when you talk truth to people, they start pushing back. This is the issue. I love what George Pickens is doing. This shows emotional intelligence. George Pickens knows what this is. Appreciate you, Michio. George knows what this is. George is about to go out here and act a fool on the field. George ain't trying to act a fool nowhere else but on the field. That's where he needs to take out all of his aggression. I love what George Pickens is doing.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle handle the truth.
They can't handle it. Let's go, Cowboys fans.
You can't handle the truth.
Let's go.
You can't handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth. Tell me what you want to, but they can't handle the truth.
Handle the truth.
George Pickens is in the building, Cowboys fans. Let's go. Let's go. Man, let's get this quick roll call in. Let's go. Hey, let's go, Cowboys fans. Dolores, what up? Happy Monday. John Henry, what is going on? What up, Dominique? Let's go. Carl Williams, what is going on? Good to see you. Big Moss Dog in this building. What is up, Big Moss Dog? It is the real estate vet. Let's go. Hey, man. George Pickens is going to prove to everybody who he truly is. Football fanatic, what up? Queen. Booby D in the building. Demetrius Noel, what up? Mark Davis, what is going on? Mark Davis, I'm going to show you something. Oh, wait. I don't think I brought it with me, but man, I got that new car while today. Oh, man, Mark Davis, it is so good. Droman, what up? Lynn from the 903. Cowboy Mike, what up? Gabe Robinson, what is going on? Anthony Billings, Country Field, my man Bass. Yes, there is a way. There is a way, Bass. What is going on? What is going on, Braves Cowboy? The real estate, hey. Jacob Jackson, Ice Cold Cowboy, what is going on? Shanard Madry, what is up? Freddie Morales, El Chuco in the building. What is going on? Good to see you, fellas. What up, fellas? Jackie, I'm so glad it's over. This is a media story, nothing else to report. Jackie, I've been saying this. All the drama in Dallas is coming outside of Dallas. It's media members, it's content creators, it's the fans, but there is no drama in Dallas in the grand scheme of things. What is going on? Braves Cowboy, what is going on? Jeremy Betts, what is going on? Yeah, I'm not going to run up on nobody today. What's up, Jeremy Betts? Wiserton, what is going on? James Slater told him he'd be here, and everybody just poo-pooed it off. DC for life, what is going on? 808, Brandon Cup, what is going on? Brandon Cup said, now all the media personnel have to find something else fake. Oh, they're just going to keep moving it. This is what they're doing. Phyllis says, settle down. Lenny Capone, he said, what's up, G? Let's go. Yo. Yeah, hey, I had to get a little shiesty today. What up, Reverend G? Poopy D said, Reverend G. Pickens. What is going on? Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. We're going to talk all things George Pickens. Dex Stress Scott, he said, welcome to Let's Talk Cowboys and We Talk Facts. Come in, hit the like button, let your pick be heard. Also, keep the chat clean. Let's go. Let's go. Black Sub-Zero, I see you. Yeah, let's go. Hey, Eric folks.
You can't handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. Queen said, what they gonna hate on now? GP got this.
You can't handle the truth.
He got it. What's going on, Eric folks? All right, man, let's get this thing started. What up, Stephen White? There will be blood. Dak fan for life. What's going on? What's going on? The most better be better. What's going on? Yeah, man, I had to go get me my mask this past week, man. Jersey boy, what's going on? It is that time, Cowboys fans. It is that time. What's going on, Franchise One? It is that time. It is the time for the Dallas Cowboys to make that next step, and they're making it. What is going on, JCT Slice? He said, did you rob someone? He said, anyways, I knew Pickens would show up. Shady moved the goalpost again, saying Dak now has no excuses. Always something. Hey.
You can't handle handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth. This team is on its way. What is going on, Nitro? What else, JS? He said, been saying that this was never going to be an issue. Pickens has much to prove. He's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to prove. What's going on, Brandon? Good to see you. He's got a lot to prove. An absolute lot to prove. We're going to keep rolling today. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. All right, let me get a couple more of these in, then we're gonna be done. What's going on? I'm the GOAT. What's going on? Mac Man said, I'm not trying to be negative, but I still have to wait and see him there tomorrow. He'll be there. He'll be there tomorrow. Book it. Don't mean he's going to do a whole lot. He's not going to do a whole lot. But he'll be there tomorrow. Book it. That's what he came in for. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. All right. All right. Let's get this thing rolling. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. Best chat on YouTube. Pickens came in today for his physical. And so, they basically want to check him out, see how everything is going. But the Dallas Cowboys have already been telling us that this was going to happen. And people were not listening. Jane Slater. And I'm going to go back because I'm telling you, and don't get me wrong, I'm not in my feelings or nothing. But I do believe that Jane Slater deserves credit for this. And people are out here saying Clarence Hill broke the Clarence Hill. No disrespect to Clarence Hill. Clarence Hill didn't break this story. Jane Slater broke this story and everybody poo-pooed it. Nobody, he's not going to show up. All these different things. Well, what are people going to say now? And let me see if I can find this story with Jane Slater. I posted it today. Let me go over here on X. Jane Slater posted this story long before anybody. I mean, she reported this on June the 4th. And when she posted this, it was barely a reaction. I mean, it was barely a reaction to this. I reported on it. Nobody really said anything about it. But Jane Slater broke this. Let me pull it up. I know I got it here in my notes. But Jane Slater deserves a lot of the credit for this.
It's not voluntary because
Let's go back to the Jane Slater story. And this is what Jane Slater said on June the 4th. And people are now acting like that Jane Slater didn't say this. And even after Nick Harris reported that shoulder shrug and the media went crazy with it. And Nick Harris even says on the Star Telegram, no hate on Nick Harris, but he says, well, what does it benefit George Pickens to not reveal to us that he's not going to be there? And I said this, I said, what are we talking about? Because we're interpreting an and a shoulder shrug as George Pickens was not going to be there? I never understood that. And then I said, but when I heard what George Pickens said to those children, to me, that was the indicator. That was the indicator that George Pickens was going to be here, based on what he told those children. And I'm going to see if we can if I can find that in my notes. Let's listen to Jane Slater. This is old news, and this is why I'm not surprised. This was Jane Slater.
All right, what is not voluntary, because we want Jane Slater of the NFL Network with us on SportsCenter all of the time covering the Cowboys. Jane, great seeing you. What is the latest with George Pickens of who Coach was talking about there?
George Pickens signed that franchise tag back on April 29th, Matt, but he has not been in the building this offseason, and he's not here today. You heard Brian Schottenheimer say right there, he talked to him on yesterday, he's in good spirits, and he's handling his business. But Schottenheimer also reiterated that OTAs are voluntary. I asked him, but what players are they going to miss when they're looking at this staff? You know, they were really intentional, Matt, this offseason about making sure they had the right staff, the right new defense. He told me it's less about learning the playbook and more about building connections. There are only 2 installs before training camp. You get one during OTAs, another at minicamp. So he's confident that Pickens can pick this up quickly. But he said the big thing here, and he says this isn't just talking about George Pickens. This is an opportunity for players to show their teammates they're doing everything in their power to get better at this thing. Now, for what it's worth, I did talk to a source close to George Pickens, and I was told that Pickens will be here next week for the mandatory minicamp.
What did James Slater say?
You can't handle the truth.
James Slater said this June the 4th. And here we are, June the 15th, and there are people out there talking about, Clarence Hill and DLS. No hate on them. But can we give the credit where the credit is due? James Slater said this on June the 4th. She had already talked to people in his camp, and I told y'all, even when Nick Harris released that story, James Slater, you could tell that James Slater wanted to come back and tell him, no, he's showing up. But she said, I'm going to leave it alone. Big ups to you for going down to South Texas or, where Corpus Christi or wherever he was and how hot it was to go down there and try to get that story, which in reality, he didn't get a story.
You can't handle the truth.
He didn't get a story in the grand scheme of things because George Pickens never told him he was not going to show up. But meanwhile, we got all these people out here giving Clarence Hill, no disrespect to Clarence Hill, he didn't break this story. James Slater had already talked to people in his camp.
But I should also point out that he has been throwing away from the mandatory minicamp. But I should also point out that he has been throwing, for what it's worth, I did talk to a source close to George Pickens. And now for what it's worth, I did talk to a source close to George Pickens. And I was told that Pickens will be here next week for the mandatory minicamp. But I should also point out that he has been throwing away from the facility with his teammates like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
That's fine, because Dak Prescott's his quarterback, CeeDee Lamb's his teammate, so maybe we'll keep an eye on this. Not maybe we will, but maybe he's getting some of that install in off and out of the facility. And the other side of the...
Now, keep in mind, this makes perfect sense. George Pickens is here for the installs. That's what George Pickens is here for. The Dallas Cowboys have already said they were not even going to allow, and people aren't paying attention. But Brian Schottenheimer was already telling us this, that when George Pickens came to camp, George Pickens actually wasn't going to do a lot of work. They don't know what George Pickens has actually been doing. They don't know how much of this or that or lack thereof. They don't know what he's been doing. So what are the Cowboys doing? Y'all remember what I told you? We better start giving this Brian Schottenheimer-led Dallas Cowboys team. We better start giving this Brian Schottenheimer-led Dallas Cowboys team a lot more credit than we're giving them, because they're being smart with George Pickens. Don't rush George Pickens back into the fray. Don't rush him back in. Don't rush George Pickens back in. And then the first play of mandatory minicamp, George Pickens strains a hamstring. Nah. Don't you dare do it, Dallas. No. The Dallas Cowboys are playing this very smart. They don't want George Pickens to suffer any kind of injury. None. They don't want him to suffer any kind of injury. Poobie D said they already been working together. And Dak said the last time they worked out, though, Poobie D, Dak Prescott said it was April. So they haven't done any working out since April, according to Dak Prescott. But nevertheless, the Cowboys are smart. They want to make sure that when George Pickens comes in, that they're going to work him in gradually, and they don't want George Pickens to hurt himself. And in the grand scheme of things, it's almost like they're not going to give him any excuse to hurt himself, so that there could be some kind of insane holdout based on some phantom injury.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, they're smart in what they're doing. They're smart in what they're doing. And I think it's all, like I said, I think it's to also protect him. I think they're doing it to protect him. Dak Prescott, he said, "You doing the whole stream with the mask, don't get too hot." Hey, I got the AC on in here. I probably won't do the whole thing. But this George Pickens thing, it's not news. I'm just being honest with y'all. In the grand scheme of things, this isn't news. To anybody who's being truthful, anybody who's been here, anybody who's been following me knows. I mean, if we're just being honest, this isn't news. This is one of the best things that George Pickens did. He showed up. That's it. He showed up. That in itself speaks volumes. He showed up. Bottom line, hey, let me tell you something. That's going to go a long way. That's going to go a long way in whatever transpires from this point forward. This is going to go a long way. I absolutely love it. Everything said you sweating harder than that, man. No, man, I got this AC on, man. This thing running hard right now. But this is going to go along, and this isn't one of those thick ones either, so. Kippy! What up, Kippy? Yeah, this is going to go a long way. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And as much as it is on George Pickens just needs to do everything that he's doing now. Let me tell you something. When you have changed to doing everything right, right comes so easy for you. It does. If we all believe that George Pickens has changed, then what George Pickens is doing it's normal. If we're saying that this is a new George Pickens, well, this actually isn't out of the norm, ordinary for him. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And I love what George Pickens is doing. He's proving everybody wrong. Brady, appreciate that super chat. She said, "I thought I clicked on LC." Yeah, this is for our man. This is for our man, George Pickens. I'm just loving everything that George Pickens, I'm just loving everything George Pickens is doing. George Pickens continues to prove so many people wrong. He just keeps doing it over and over and over. And even the people who want him to act a fool, because I'm telling you, there are people who want him to act a fool. He won't do it. He won't do it. Cue ball, he said, "You called a GP in the house." Hey, it's the best thing he did. It's the best thing he did. Just keep doing it. There's no better way than to prove people wrong than to just keep doing what's right. Just keep doing what's right, man. I love everything that George Pickens is doing. It's pure comedy to me. When I see all of these people and they keep talking about George Pickens, he would be justified if he didn't show up or if he didn't do this. And man, justified in the eyes of who? Who is he trying to justify himself in the eyes of? Don't justify yourself in the eyes of anyone. Don't justify yourself in the eyes of anyone. When you tell people you're better, then do better. Give them nothing to talk about. Give them nothing to talk about. Hey, they can make up anything they want to. And I always tell people, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem with people saying things about me, or, I don't have a problem with people saying things about people. And I tell people, don't pay attention too much as of what people are saying about you. What you need to ask yourself is what they're saying true? Is what they saying true? If they are talking bad about you, well, is what they're saying bad about you true? Did you do it? Did you do what they said? Because if you did what they said, then you really can't be mad about what they're saying. The only thing you can do is change it. Change what you're doing. We will blame the people sometimes for the reaction. But for every action, there's a reaction. And so rather focusing on people's reaction all the time, because everybody's always focusing on everybody's reaction. But what my job in the situation is, let me focus on what actions. What did I do? And so George Pickens. I love everything that George Pickens is doing. I love everything that he's doing. Pickens is here. This doesn't mean that George Pickens is going to do a lot, because I don't think he's going to do a lot. I believe that Brian Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott, and I'm telling y'all right now, Dak Prescott is so plugged in to this franchise in ways that Dak Prescott has never been just tapped in. Dak Prescott already knew this. Dak Prescott had already told us that when the time came for all of the mandatory stuff, Dak Prescott told us George Pickens would be here. He told us this. We weren't listening to it, but he told us this. There is no surprise in nothing that we're seeing right now. The only people that can be surprised right now are the people who wanted a different outcome. Because for all of us who knew what this was and know what this is no surprise. None of us never thought George Pickens. I mean, I'm just telling you, there was nothing that was telling me that George Pickens was not going to be here, because everything that I was seeing was showing he's going to be here. Everything was pointing to that. Let me see if we can.
You went to Micah's bowling philanthropy last offseason. What's it been like trying to
front and honest with these guys? And I think they respect that. I think.
Let's see if we can check Brian's talking about this again.
I will say this, I've shared with you guys, I've been taking, 8, 9, 10 guys to dinner most Tuesdays. And one of the nights that we went, that PJ was.
Situation throughout your time with the Cowboys. CD missed a lot of the program in 24, Micah last year, and George this year. Kind of what have you learned about your role in helping players or interacting players like George's situation this year?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Garrett, my job is to just be upfront and honest with these guys, and that's what we did with George. We made it very clear to George we're not going to do an extension, and we're so thrilled about him being a part of this football team. And, that's all I know to do. I just know to be upfront and honest. And, if he's upset and frustrated and angry, I get that. Let's talk about it. But all we can do is be upfront and honest with these guys. And I think they respect that. I think they like that. And, it certainly is something I think that's important, because, we need to have the close working relationship. It's business. It's nothing personal. I'm thrilled when George comes walking through these doors, hopefully next week, and I expect to see him next week. But
wait, that part right there.
You can't handle the truth.
He said he expected George Pickens to walk through the doors next week. This isn't news. The only people, again, this is news to, is people who didn't want George Pickens to show up. This actually isn't news. This actually isn't news. And if George Pickens does nothing tomorrow, do not be surprised. Because for some people, watch the drama. They're going to say, George Pickens showed up and he didn't do nothing. Hold on a second.
You can't handle the truth.
But why would he do something? He actually hasn't been for any of the voluntary stuff. The Cowboys actually don't know what George Pickens has been doing. So why would they just throw him back out there on the field? It makes perfect sense. George Pickens, just do the walkthroughs. Hang out with the coach. Understand the installs. And we don't need you to do anything else. Bottom line. And we already know what George Pickens is. He's going to be there for Oxnard, California. We already know what he is. We don't need to worry about George Pickens. He's here for the installs. He's here for the team. I think it's going to continue to build the camaraderie on this team. And I am still, regardless of what I heard, now I'm just hoping against hope myself on this. I'm still holding out for an extension. I'm still holding out. I don't know about y'all. I'm still holding out for an extension. That's what I'm doing. I'm hoping that some way he just tells the Cowboys what in the world he wants. Pull a Brandon Aubrey. And I'll tell you something else that I think that he is doing that is very awesome. George Pickens also seems to have adopted what we've talked about. He doesn't work for David Mulugheta. David Mulugheta works for him. It doesn't matter what David Mulugheta tells George Pickens. George Pickens makes the final decision. He makes the final decision. If David Mulugheta tells George Pickens don't show up, George Pickens, you know what, David, I'm going to take that into consideration. But I think it's best for me to show up. It's best for me to show up, so I'm going to show up. And I'm going to tell y'all something else for everybody who likes all the drama. Kippy said we have until July the 15th. He might get an extension for real. I'm holding out hope, bruh. Me and you, Kippy, we holding out hope, bruh. Stephen White, you right. He loves football. Jerome Miller said, G, keep the shicey mask on. Man, I'm rolling with GP today. I'm going to be rolling with him again tomorrow. I'm going to have as Dominique said, I'm going to have my air conditioner on 50. I'm going to roll with the shicey tomorrow again. But this situation with George Pickens, man, he's just doing what he's supposed to do. Don't let people control don't let people control you. Just do what you're supposed to do, man. I absolutely love what this man is doing. He just keeps proving everybody wrong. I absolutely love it. He just keeps proving everybody wrong. And so, I think people may not realize this part. George Pickens, Schottenheimer, and Jerry Jones, they may be a little bit more in sync than people believe. They actually may be a little bit more in sync than people believe. And the reason why I'm saying this is, just listen to what Schotty is saying. He said, me and Jerry talked to George Pickens. I think they all kind of know what's going on here.
He's just a terrific young man.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Hey, Brian, you kind of dealt with different contract situations throughout your time with the Cowboys.
No, it's been great. GP and I, from the time he got here, we've had a great relationship and good communication. This time of year is always fun because it's busy and guys got a lot of things going. I love getting out and about. Like I had a ball. at Demo's wedding. It was great to see some of our former players. Mozzie Smith was there. Jalen Brooks was there. It was great to see those guys. And, what I told our players on Monday, we showed some highlights of the videos. I think Clarence had posted most of them. So, we showed some of those videos. But I just told them, I said, hey, guys, look around this room, the team meeting room. These guys are in your life forever. So this is not a 2026 Dallas Cowboys. These guys are your brothers for life.
Cal.
A quick follow-up on Pickens. Obviously, players want to be secured contractually long term. So when you said to him, we're not going to extend you right now, what was his reaction?
I'm not going to share that with you guys. We had a real honest conversation, and it was me, George, and Jerry. And again, we made it very.
Now, this is the part I just want you to keep just focusing in on this. It was Brian Schottenheimer and Jerry Jones who brought this man in. And they are keeping in communication with him. They are keeping in communication with him. Why are they doing this? They don't want this to go off the rails the way it did with Micah Parsons. And I don't think they're feeling George Pickens with a lot of malarkey. I believe they're telling him, man, hey, we're not going to extend you this year. But when I hear them talk, it sounds like to me, we're not going to extend you this year. We're going to extend you next year. Because it seems like to me, they got long-term plans for George Pickens. Because every time you hear Brian Schottenheimer talks, he keeps saying that we have long-term, we want George Pickens to be here. That doesn't sound like a short-term stint.
Very clear how much we love him and what he's done for us here and what we expect he's going to do for us for a long time. And
wait. What did he say?
You can't handle the truth.
People don't want to hear these things. They don't want to hear it. So many people, they're focused just on he hasn't got the contract, and they're focused on what Jerry said. Hey, we're not going to extend you right now. A little bit more patience. Let's see what happens. Because I don't understand the language of we want George Pickens to be here a long time, but we're only going to, he's playing on the franchise tag and then we're going to trade him. I'm telling y'all now, Cowboys make a deep playoff run, and I got a feeling they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to win a game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win 2 games. They make the playoffs. There is no way they're letting George Pickens out of here. They're not letting him out. There's no way. They're not letting George Pickens out of here. George Pickens comes in and does the same thing he did last year. And listen to what I'm telling you. George Pickens don't have to get 1,400 yards again. George Pickens doesn't have to get 8 or 9 touchdowns again. George Pickens don't have to do those things. It's not the talent that everybody wants to continue to see because the talent has been on full display since he's been drafted. What they're wanting to see is him to continue to do what he's doing. I just struggle with this. I struggle with this attitude of if the Cowboys are not holding George Pickens accountable for his past behavior, then why haven't they extended him? Because they're holding him accountable for his present behavior. And they're saying, we want to see another year of what you did last year. That's what they're saying.
You can't handle the truth.
If people can't understand that, I can't make you understand it. But as a person who has made mistakes in his life, and when I get second chances, I don't look at my second chance as they're going to keep holding my past against me. They're going to keep, no, because I know what I did in my past. When somebody says we want to see you do it longer, I'm thankful to God because I'm saying they're holding me accountable for They're holding me accountable for my good behavior. And they're saying, we just want to keep you, we want to see you keep doing it. Brandon Cup, you hit it right on the head.
You can't handle the truth.
Brandon Cup said it's called consistency. That's it. It's bottom line, that's it. That's it. Brandon said, give me one more year. That's it. I know people don't like that. But you don't get to in this life. And y'all know we talk about life here. I'm telling y'all, especially you young folk, you don't get to in life to get a bad reputation for X amount of years and then turn it around in a month or a year and everybody says, we're sold. People like me will be sold. I'll be sold. I'll be sold because I want to keep encouraging you. I'm sold. You've changed. You're around the right people. You're hearing the right things. You're doing the right things. I'm sold. But I would tell that same person, I'm sold. It doesn't mean everybody else is going to be sold. So what I need for you to do is to keep doing what you sold me on. And then that's going to change everything around you. But you got to give it time. We got to tell people this kind of stuff. We got to stop making people feel like that things change when you want them to change. They don't. They don't. This is why I keep telling y'all, I'm not buying none of this nonsense that people are saying. They keep trying to compare George Pickens to all these other wide receivers. Well, what about this wide receiver? And what about them? And why are they getting paid and George can't? Because I don't remember anybody ever talking bad about those wide receivers. I don't never remember anybody saying any negative things about those receivers. But if we're being honest, we can all remember, even before George Pickens got to Dallas, we can remember they were saying things about George Pickens. And I'm going to tell y'all something strange, and then I'm going to let you hear something over from Crown Media that I heard this past weekend as they were talking about George Pickens. But I'm going to tell y'all something that's strange. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Let me read my sister Brandy. Katharina Kiss, what is going on? What is going on, Seaboard? What is going on? Good to see you. Let me read these. Let me start right here first. JTX made, he said, they can still extend Quinnen and Kenny Clark during the season in order to open up even more cap space to sign GP long-term next season. I think they got plans to extend George Pickens. I do. Brandon Cuff says second chances should always be given. Now do something with that opportunity, and Pickens is doing it. Bam!
You can't handle the truth.
There it is, Brandon Cuff. There it is. Everybody don't get second chances on the biggest stage making $27 million. Man, I need to be, I wish I could be on the council with George Pickens. I'd be encouraging this man in ways that people do not understand. Brady said, G, me and you are Christians. The world will hold the past against you, but God won't.
You can't handle the truth.
That's it. Frank Lawrence, he said, sign Taylor Decker. Yeah, I would love for the Cowboys to do it. Move guiding the right tackle, compete with still and develop Michael Trigg into a lethal weapon. Appreciate that super chat. I would love for Cowboys to do it. What's up, Rico Jones? What up, Paul with it? Because let me tell you something about George Pickens. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong on this. Marvin Mays, what up? JCT, he said, oh, hold on, you said who makes an Instagram live to hit on the quarterback for 30 seconds? JCT Slice. None other than Shady McCoy. That's who does it. That's exactly who does it. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, Cowboys Nation. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Has anybody heard anybody come out and defend George Pickens? Has anybody heard anybody come out and defend George Pickens from his time in Pittsburgh? Has anybody heard it? Has anybody heard this? Because I haven't heard anybody coming out and defending George Pickens. I've heard people talk about the talent of George Pickens, but I haven't heard people coming out and defending George Pickens. And the people who keep talking about George Pickens getting paid, I'm not even sure if they're defending George Pickens getting paid as much as they just love the drama. Katharina Kiss, I mean, okay, help me out, because I'm trying to get to the truth of this, because I haven't heard anybody, for as many people who keep saying these, oh, well, George should get paid and the Dallas Cowboys are wrong. Can anybody other than those people, I don't recall any player coming out saying anything. I don't. Troy Aikman, but he's all mad because the Cowboys didn't hire him in the front office. I haven't heard anybody. And a lot of the media, for whatever reason, they've been actually with this. Like, yeah, the Cowboys should one more year. They should want to see it one more year. I don't. There are people, they want to paint this as it's a lie about George Pickens' past. And when people start saying narrative, that's a fancy way of saying the narrative is a lie. No. The narrative, the question is, what did you do in the narrative? I keep telling us, whenever there's a mess going on, somebody's got to show me. You need to make sure that whenever there's a mess going on, find the me in the mess. And when you can find the me in the mess, you can get out of the mess. When you can find the me in the mess, you can get out of the mess. 72 Chevelle, what's going on? What is going on? Katharina, I'm just telling you, Katharina, for everything everybody's been saying, I've been hearing nobody talk about, talk like, what the Cowboys are doing is wrong, other than some content creators and some media members for Dallas. But I haven't heard a lot of people out there saying these things. Sam Harper said, I bet no one wants to be associated with a black sheep. Right there. That part, Sam Harper. I'm telling you, I haven't heard anybody. Do y'all know what's just more insane, but beautiful at the same time? Do y'all know who's actually been speaking out for George Pickens? The Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. They're the ones who've been speaking out for George Pickens.
You can't handle the truth.
They've been the ones who've been doing it. That is fascinating to me. They've been doing it. The Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Brian Schottenheimer, Jerry Jones, they are the ones who have been speaking out the most on George Pickens' behalf. But I don't recall anybody else doing it. I can remember Jordan Lewis even when the Dallas Cowboys signed George Pickens. Jordan Lewis was like, "Yeah, man, I'm glad I'm gone." God knew, because we remember when the Cowboys played the Pittsburgh Steelers, J. Lou and George Pickens were going at it, and we saw some questionable behavior from George Pickens. I mean, all I'm telling us is the George Pickens that we are seeing now. I love this George Pickens. I always loved his talent. But what he's been able to do for himself with the Dallas Cowboys, this is the very reason why I don't want this man going nowhere. He needs to stay here. This is the place that George Pickens needs to be. George Pickens needs to tell his agent, I want to be in Dallas. Make sure, tell your agent, I want to be in Dallas. this is the best place for George Pickens. I absolutely love George Pickens being in Dallas. And I believe that George Pickens being in Dallas, he is about to be a part of a Super Bowl. This year, no later than next. This man is going to be a part of an incredible Super Bowl run by the Dallas Cowboys. Ursa Major, he said, by all accounts, GP was a model citizen. That's all we got to go by. Sit. And Ursa Major, people don't hear what I'm saying. They're holding him accountable for being a model citizen. As a person who's done some wrong things in my life, people don't hold you accountable for your past. They hold you accountable for the change. They want to see the same thing they've been seeing. If people can't understand that again, I can't explain that. I'm not gonna bust my brain trying to explain it again. There are just some things that some people don't get. They just don't get it. But George Pickens is winning. George Pickens is winning, and George Pickens is going to win, and George Pickens is going to break the bank. And I believe it's going to be with the Dallas Cowboys. I do. It's going to be with the Dallas Cowboys. Sam Harper said, low key, when GP balls out this year and the Cowboys' newfound ability to do the right thing, watch our brothers and sisters. Man, I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing. I think it's awesome. Kevin Evans, he said, what time is it, G? Been kicking gospel. Love your content. Appreciate you. Q-Ball, yep, GP needs to stay in Dallas. Man, this is the best place. I mean, I don't say this much about players, but this is just the place, man. There's no better place in this league because nobody wanted George Pickens but the Dallas Cowboys. And if there were teams that wanted him, they were not willing to give up even a second-round pick for him. Cowboys gave up a third. This is the best place for him. It's his best season in the NFL. It's the best behavior that anybody has seen from George Pickens. Everything about this situation screams George Pickens has found his home. And I'm praying that the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to do the right thing. I pray, and I think they are. D Block, what up, D Block? Yes, sir. Marvin Mays, it took the Knicks 53 years. Now it's our turn. Let's go. Hey, the most be better, do better. I'm telling you, bro. I've heard no ex-players. I've heard no ex-players. None. I'm dumbfounded by this. Nobody. I've heard nobody come to his defense. Bernard Field said, is that the OG in the booth today? Oh, man. Stephen White, you saying something. Stephen White said it's the most money that he's made. This is the place for him. This is the place for him. It is. This is the place for him. There's no better place for him. Dallas is the place for him. And I believe Dallas is going to take care of this. Sam Harper said Arby set the tone when he told his agent he wanted to stay in Dallas. And he needed to make it happen. He needed to make it happen. GP found his home and it will get done. Sam Harper, I'm with you. Q-Ball said he has the right coaches and teammates. Yes. Yes. Every single time. Kobe D said Dallas will have 2 1,400-yard receivers. Whoa, he said book it in my G voice. Let's go. Let's go. What up, Jabril? All right, I want to take y'all over. I want to take y'all over to Woodson. Shout out to Crown Media and Vach Lombardi and Brian Broaddus. Man, they do a great job over there. I don't always get to check out all the content, but I run across it sometimes, and when I get a chance, I listen to them. I've always been a big fan of Vach Lombardi. Well, Crown Media actually had, I don't know if y'all saw this. Crown Media actually had Darren Woodson on. And Darren Woodson was talking about George Pickens, Dak Prescott, and other things. I mean, man, Vach Lombardi, man, they're going to pay Vach Lombardi some money eventually. I don't know what he's getting paid over there at Crown Media. But I can tell you this. Voch Lombardi is an excellent interviewer. He is an excellent interviewer. You know, for somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience in interviewing, he's a very, very good interviewer. He is a very good interviewer. The most be better. He said, gee, unfortunately, this society does not give grace to young black males. He says GP3 has truly found a home in Dallas. You know, the most be better, let me tell you something. And I don't really get into a lot of the racial stuff, but I'll tell you this. Let me tell you something my mom told me, the most be better. I tried to tell my mom that one time. And you know what my mom spit back at me, the most be better? Whether those things are true or not, the most be better, they actually don't matter. But my mom said, then if you believe that, then that should inspire you to even do that much more better. That's what my mom told me. Because I'm going to tell you something, the most. It don't just be white people. It don't, man, let me tell you something. White people, black people, green people, plaid people, and yellow people. They all hold people back. And they all sometimes don't give grace to, even we don't give grace sometimes to young black people. And it's for that very reason, the most be better. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you have children. But it's for that very reason, the most be better. I always teach my sons. This is why you need to always do and be who you are, how you were raised, and what you believe in. Because at the end of the day, the most be better. It don't matter if it's yellow, black, white, green, or plaid. There's a lot of people that won't give grace to young black men, young white men, young Mexican men, young black women, young white women. There are so many people because it's not just so much sometimes even a color thing. Man, there are just some people, they just don't even like this generation. And they'll write this generation off in a heartbeat. And we shouldn't be doing things like that. And when we get young men like George Pickens and others, you know, those of us older, it is our responsibility to pass wisdom on to the young people. It is our responsibility to do that, whether we accept it or not. It's our responsibility. Kippy said, Puka Nakua out here biting women, but GP gets all the negative press. It's a race thing. Now, Kippy, let me tell you something. Puka Nakua. Now, Puka Nakua has not gotten paid. But let me tell you about Puka Nakua. I don't think it's a race thing. It's a Sean McVay thing. Sean McVay understands what Puka Nakua is. Sean McVay knows that Puka Nakua is a problem. Kippy, why do you think they got this man in therapy and counseling and all these different things? Why do you think they're doing all that? They're doing all of that because I'm not telling you they don't care about Puka Nakua, because I think they do it to a degree. But I also think they understand that this dude, Puka Nakua, similar to George Pickens. Puka Nakua is a phenomenal talent. Man, when I tell you Puka Nakua, hey man, he crazy off the field. Puka Nakua is crazy off the field. He crazy off the field. But on that field, he is a monster. He's a monster. And they want him on the field. That's basically what they're telling you about Puka Nakua. They want him on the field. And before they pay him, because Kippy, I believe they already want to break the bank on him. But they can't break the bank on him because they're kind of playing the same game that Dallas is playing. They're just not playing it the same way. Puka Nakua, because he was drafted in a different position, Puka Nakua, they're not going to do him, they're not going to put the franchise tag on him and do all those things, I believe. But they want to pay him. but they can't justify paying him because how he's been acting. So what are they doing to justify paying him? See, Kippy, I'm going to tell you, people don't realize that the Cowboys and the Rams are doing something similar, but in different ways. The Cowboys are telling George Pickens, we just want to see you keep doing what you're doing. The Rams are telling Puka Nacua, bruh, you're crazy. We need you to get into counseling, bro, because you've been doing some things so crazy. You need to get into counseling before we justify paying you. They're both doing the same thing in the grand scheme of things. Puka Nacua hasn't got extended yet. He hasn't got extended yet. I mean, let's not, I'm not saying he's not going to get extended, Kippy, but I mean, hey, man. Puka Nacua, I'm putting him in that same category with George Pickens. Puka Nacua, he's got to be careful too. Because people will do the same thing to Puka Nacua that they're doing to George Pickens if he's not careful. Because I'm going to tell you something. Everybody keeps saying, you think about this. The Cowboys are saying, hey, we want you to keep doing what you're doing because we don't want to, people like, they don't want to take the risk. And I understand what they're saying. Because George Pickens, because he was young and immature, because I think back to my own life, that when I was young and immature, I didn't realize that I was risking success. I didn't realize I was risking relationships. I didn't realize I was risking my reputation when I was young and dumb and out there doing dumb things. And I have to understand that when I'm out there taking risk and doing dumb things and saying dumb things, now in my old mind, I realize something. People aren't willing to take risk on folk who take a lot of risk. Are we following what I'm saying? And so with Puka Nacua, the Rams, they still haven't paid Puka Nacua. I'm sure Puka Nacua is like, yeah, they're going to pay me. But notice what they did to him, Kippy. Nah, bro, you got to get in counseling. They like, bro, you got to get in counseling before we pay you. You got to get in counseling. And if Puka Nacua is not careful, let Puka Nacua keep doing things. He'll be just like George Pickens. They'll be waiting a whole nother year before they let Puka Nacua break the bank. I'm just telling you. Puka Nacua, he's similar to George. I mean, just an absolutely incredible talent. He's an incredible talent. And even when you think about what both of them are doing and the way both teams are doing them, I mean, Dallas didn't tell George to go into counseling. Dallas just told George, we're going to pay you $27 million and do it again. Just do it again. And then we're going to talk about this some more next year. But with Puka Nacua, man, they'll put that joke in counseling, man. They'll put him in counseling. Yeah, Kippy, see right there. No risk on the risk. I'm telling you, Kippy, man, when I was young, bro. When I was young, Kippy, man, I think back to stuff, man, I'd be like, golly, man. Man, I don't know about you, Kippy, man. You look way younger than me. But I'm going to tell you, man, even in your 30s, bro. Man, I took risk even in my 30s sometimes. I look back and go, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Man, I had to be crazy thinking that people would take a risk on me back then. Bernard Field said, he let off to the hot 16. Hey, Kippy, it's funny you said you hoping some bail. Counselor, because that boy, wow. Hey, man, Kippy, I'm honest. I gotta be honest with you, bro. Man, when folks be clowning, man, I be wondering who their daddy is, bro. I'm just serious, man. I'm just wondering who their dad. I'm just wondering who their father is, man. And sometimes you can't, sometimes, young men come from great backgrounds and they still act a fool. I knew some of them in college. I mean, not college, but I knew some of them in high school. Brothers was out there slinging rocks. Come to find out, they live on the good side of town where the $1 million homes are. Jeremy Best said, true that, G. He said, people can be judgmental. Some can be stereotypical also. You do the right thing the best you can, the best you know, and how good things will come and handle itself. Yeah, because Kippy, let me tell you something. And I'm not going to discount that some people are racist. And that includes black, white, yellow, and green people. I'm not going to discount that some people are racist, Kippy. But what my mom was teaching me was, so don't put your life in the hands of them doggone folk. Man, don't put your hands in the life of folk, because you don't know what folk have in their heart. You don't know what folk have in their heart, Kippy. So I'm not going to discount you that there are some people out there who are racist. So, Kippy, that's why my mom told me that, because she's like, because if you know that, well, why would you even risk putting decisions about your life in the hands of those people? Don't you dare do it. Don't do it. Shoot, man, people can be cruel, man. Man, people can be cruel. Man, I can remember myself being young, Kippy. I don't know about you, man. I can remember when I was younger, man. And I can just remember opportunities that I got passed up for, because even though I had made a change, people didn't say it was because of my past. I mean, they would just basically tell me, you know, I had to wait on the promotion one time at a company for a whole year. I was one of the best they had in the company. I mean, I was one of the best they had in the company. I was top 5 in the company. They brought in another guy off the street, promoted him over me. Ooh, and I was mad about it too. And they sat me down and they told me, they said, you've been doing a great job. We just want to see more. And I'm going to tell you something, Kippy. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but when you're better at your job than everybody else, and they bring in somebody from the streets and let them get a job over you, and then you got to train them. I actually had to train the guy. And the guy had to break down and tell me one day. He just broke down and told me, Kip, he said, man, you are great at this. He said, be patient. You training me, this actually isn't going to hurt you. It's going to help you. Because in the grand scheme of things, I had to learn this in my life, Kippy, that sometimes we can be so negative about things. And I always tell people, Kippy, if you're a person that believes in God, man, don't take God out of the equation. Get folk that'll be talking about what man is. I serve a God that's greater than man. And if I'll follow God, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, there wouldn't be a shadow there if there was not light. So I just follow the light. I don't follow the shadow. I follow the light. And people miss leads me through. Leads me through. If God led me to it, he'll lead me through it. And if I got myself to it, if I repent and stay with God, God will still lead me through it. So it is these things that God sets before us when it's our redemption time. It's those things that actually build us. And I learned something from that, man. It built me. It helped build me. To train somebody for a promotion that you should get. But I couldn't blame anybody but me. I couldn't blame anybody but me. Because it was because of my past behavior that I was in a situation that they needed to see more. But as long as I was doing what was right, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to let you see more. And I didn't let it break me. It didn't break me. Shoot, it built me, man. I'm telling you. And this is what's going on with Pickens, man. If I could talk to him personally, bro, sometimes people don't realize what's happening, man. Boy, he's being built. Woo! He's being built, man. Woo! Boy! Man, Pickens is being built right before our eyes. This man is being built right before our eyes, man. It's incredible. I love it. I love it. He just got to stay the course. Stay the course and weather the storm, man. I believe that George Pickens has some people in his life that truly care about him. I believe that Dak Prescott cares about him. I believe CeeDee Lamb cares about him. I believe Brian Schottenheimer cares about him. I believe even Jerry Jones. Man, let me tell you something. Jerry Jones loves players hard. Jerry Jones sometimes loves players to a fault, but Jerry Jones loves hard, man. I believe that he's in a place where people love him. I really do. I believe he's in a place where people love him, and so he just got to stay in that environment, man, and I think it's going to be great. All right, I want to take us over here to Crown Media.
Lord, I look down.
As I was saying about Crown Media, man, this thing with Crown Media and Darren Woodson is just great. It's just great, man. Kibby said, he says, why? He said, hey, man, bro. He says, why I watch your channel? He said, you come from a positive perspective, rock on. Man, I try hard, man. Because, man, I'm going to tell you, Kip, it does no good to look at a glass half full. Oh, I'm sorry, look at a glass, let's see, look at a glass half empty. I look at a glass half full. God ain't done with me. My cup runneth over, man. God ain't done with me. And when God gives you opportunities, he ain't done with you. He ain't done with you, man. And God ain't done with George Pickens. He ain't done with him. Bernard Fields said, Dallas Cowboys are rebuilding their image as well. G, not just Pickens. You said a mouthful, Bernard Fields. Jerry Jones is rebuilding his image, and there's some people that won't let him do it. He's rebuilding his image. Steven is, I guess Steven is rebuilding his image. But in general, they're trying to rebuild the image of the Dallas Cowboys. They are. Yeah, I appreciate you, Apollo the Leader. Yes, sir. I like that name, Apollo the Leader. Quentin says, hey, G, look like you're playing hooky with that mask because somebody stop him from taking them cookies home. Yes, sir. Jerry Best said, he said, that's a hard thing to have to do and to deal with in that time because you know you deserve it, can handle the job, but you have to see someone get it that is not as good as you or have trained is difficult during that time. It is. It absolutely is, man. And Jerry Best, you think about it. People don't think that George Pickens is watching. That's why I said, man, I ain't letting nobody out there getting signed dictate the contract of George Pickens. Man, if we're talking about talent, George Pickens is way more talented than these last 3 or 4 receivers. And I'm including Jackson Smith and Jigba. George Pickens is incredible. Believe me when I tell you he's incredible. And especially with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Especially with Dak Prescott. Man, George Pickens mess around and go somewhere else and he'd be the only one. It'd be the same thing in Pittsburgh. He'll be the main attraction. They'll be doubling him, picking on him, taking him out of the game. Don't know what the culture will be. He'll be just like Michael Parsons in some respects. He'll be rich and miserable. Be rich and miserable. There's one thing I would never want to be is rich and miserable. I see no point in being rich if you can't share it with people that you love and be around people that you love. There's no point for me. I want to be able to share that success around the people that I love. Man, come on, man. George Pickens is in the building today. That's why I got the shiesty on, man. All right, let me see if I can find this where Vach Lombardi was talking to Darren Woodson. All right, here it is right here. Let's pick this up. Great interview by Vach Lombardi. Let's check out Vach Lombardi interviewing Darren Woodson. Check this out.
Have this pride about them about losing. Yeah. Like I play with guys who give a damn. Yeah, you lose a game and walk out of the locker room and like, hey, it's all right, it's all good. And I play with guys like a Deion Sanders who lost a game and would be freaking, he wouldn't talk for 3 days. Yeah. Wouldn't even look you in the eye. Right. But those are the guys that you want on your team.
Now take that same question, right? Apply it to a teammate. You feel like your teammate loves ball, right? But they're going through a contract situation. Yeah. Right? See, now, so for example, like Dak went through his contract situation. He ain't missed practice though. No. Like, hey man, I'm a leader and I'm standing on it, but I need my money. And he hit the Jones upside the head with the money. Absolutely. He was there. Now we got this Pickens thing going on, right? And this whole idea, hey, I would love to be here. I would love to, contribute to the culture in this locker room. I'm not gonna come. It's not mandatory, but I'm still not gonna come. And you got some leaders that come to all the mandatory stuff, right?
Yeah.
So how do you kind of navigate
I'm
that?
telling you, man, not everybody's built to lead.
Sure.
They're not. They're just not. It's just not innate in everybody else. You can be a freaking superstar, and this is how Super Bowl teams become Super Bowl champions. Is when your best players, regardless of what their contract situation is, they're part of it. They're still a part of it. They're going to show up. We're going to fight through the contract. Now,
You can't handle the truth.
That was powerful right there, man. No matter what's going on with the contract, they fight through it. Now, I'm going to give George Pickens credit. Voluntary is voluntary. He don't have to volunteer. Mandatory is mandatory. George Pickens is doing the right thing. He's there. He doesn't have to do this, that, or the other. As long as he's there for the installs. And I think this is going to go a long way towards some of these younger players watching a player like George Pickens weather the storm. Mark Davis, what's going on? Hey, Mark Davis, appreciate that super chat, my brother. Appreciate you. Keep rocking over there on that channel, man. I be watching you every day, man. Just keep it going, boy. Your fragrance collection, boy. Boy, if y'all have not checked out Mark Davis's, if you're into fragrances, boy, if y'all have not checked out Mark Davis's channel, man, Mark Davis has got to have at least, Mark Davis, correct me if I'm wrong, but just looking at what you show on video, bro, man, you gotta have at least 300 fragrances, man. And them joints ain't cheap either. I saw that one that you was doing in the red bottle today, boy. Boy, that joint ain't cheap, boy. That joint ain't cheap. Praying for success for that channel to jump off.
I get it. There's some dynamics outside that say, well, maybe you shouldn't do this and maybe you should do that. But like a CD Lamb, love CD, but CD is getting paid, what, $35 million? He's a freaking superstar, right?
Crazy, yeah.
He's a superstar on that football team, and he's known to be a superstar. If CD showed up every day, because the dude, number 4 showing up.
Yeah. Now hold on. Let's get this part in. Now he said that CeeDee Lamb showed up for voluntaries, and he absolutely did. But let's remember, when CeeDee Lamb didn't get his contract, CeeDee Lamb held out and got his contract in August, right? But the thing that I love about CeeDee Lamb, I got a strange feeling that CeeDee Lamb is probably giving George Pickens different advice. Because I can remember that CeeDee Lamb told Micah Parsons, don't be out here in the media doing all that talking. He told Micah Parsons that. And CeeDee Lamb also let us in on something. That sitting out all the way to August affected him. It did. And we kind of saw it when he got back on the field that year. So it seems to me that CeeDee Lamb is giving George Pickens different. He's giving him different advice. Okay, don't show up to the volunteers, but come to the mandatory. And the Cowboys seem to already have a built-in plan. George Pickens isn't going to have to hold out. They're going to hold him out. They've already said as much. Dak Prescott said it. Brian Schottenheimer said it. They're going to hold him out. So they've already cut this whole drama thing off at the pass. And they're basically saying, and if George Pickens hold out, that ain't even drama because we're going to hold him out. We're concerned about his safety. We're concerned about his health. You better believe they are because they want him to play on the team this season. He is a big part of the plan for the Dallas Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. He's a big part of it. Believe me when I tell you.
Yeah. He shows up every day. His goal is ultimately, I'm going to win a championship, right? I would love to see those guys all show up all the time.
Yeah.
Because it builds something, man. When Emmett showed up every day, or Michael Irvin, who outworked everybody, showed up every day, even through contract situations.
Sure.
Like, that meant something.
Yeah.
It really did. So, I kind of understand what Pickens is going through right now. Look, he's frustrated. I would be frustrated in that situation. I really would. I don't want to be franchise tagged. Yeah. But just speaking to him specifically, look, the perception of him in Pittsburgh was that he wasn't a team player. Mm-hmm. He had this image about him. He came to Dallas, and he absolutely flipped that image. Flipped the whole thing.
Right.
Everybody was like, man, we love this guy. Shows up, and even the trainers are like, guy shows up. He does all the things right. He's not a problem at all. Hasn't been a problem. Like, maybe it's a year you play under this tag, and he's still young. Mm-hmm. Someone's going to get this kid.
Yeah.
Right. Just
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody would have told me when I was younger, sometimes you think you're doing something for a moment, but you're actually doing it for a lifetime. That this right decision that you make will influence the rest of your life. It's a big deal, man. George Pickens has got a lot riding on this. George Pickens he's got more riding on this than anybody in this situation. And so he's got to make sure everything happens, man. He's got to make sure everything is right. This is all on him. Quentin said, I think next week is going to be George Pickens' way of showing up to camp. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to show up to camp. He's not going to do a lot. And I don't think the Cowboys should let him do a lot. Don't let him do a lot. Jeremy Best said, let him hate. Finna be disgusted, though. These boys finna clown on him for real. I love what's finna happen. Let them all hate. They finna be mad, though. Here's in all men. Yes, sir. I got you. Mark Davis. Mark Davis said he has 468 bottles. Gosh. Boy, that's an investment right there. Man, I'm glad you started the channel, man. Boy, I'm glad you started the channel, boy. Hey, man. That many bottles, bro? Bugs, I have another rack upstairs in my game room. Golly. Tatiana, she said, G, now you got the ski mask on. And to support my man, George Pickens. 468 is, golly. Poopy D, he said Tatiana, G's daughter-in-law. Poopy D, be careful. Be careful, Poopy D. Last time I didn't see Tatiana for a whole week when I made that comment, man. Man, Poopy D. Now my wife even asking who Tatiana is, man. Now my wife be like, who's Tatiana? My wife been asking me who Tatiana is because she be watching the show. What's going on there to the Keys? He said, yes, I agree with you on that about there's fine being rich if you can't. Yeah. There's no point in being rich if you can't share with people who you love. He said, I do believe in sharing with the people who I love when I get money. Oh, yeah, man. It's no point. 4 pockets. I applaud George for his maturity and stepping into new leadership. And that is exactly what Darren Woodson is kind of alluding to. Yeah, man. Tatiana, always all love, my sisters. Always, I'm so glad you're on here. Good to see you today. Where can I find Mark Davis' channel? Mark Davis, plug the channel again. Yeah, plug the channel again. Jerry Bessie in there rolling. All right, let's listen to some more Darren Woodson.
Show up, dude. That's the hardest thing to teach any young player. Even not just in football, but
yes,
as a business owner.
Yes.
Right? Show up. Good things happen when you show up and do the right thing. Just go.
Showing up is half the battle.
You can't handle the truth.
That's it. Man, let me tell you something. I wish somebody would have told me this when I was younger. Showing up, boy, that's half the battle right there. Good things. I agree with it, man. Good things happen when you show up. Good things happen. Now, good things happen when you show up, but you also got to make sure to be good. Because you actually control, as far as it pertains to you, you control you in every situation. And don't let people around you control you. I couldn't come on, for example, on Saturday. I didn't get a chance to come on. I had to go do a funeral on Saturday. And there were some people there that didn't care for me. And people try to feel funny. You know, they try to act kind of funny around you when they don't like you. And, man, I don't care who don't like me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to go up and speak to people, hug people, talk to people, even when I know they hate me and talk about me. Why? Because they don't control me. I don't let folk live rent-free in my head, and then every time I see them, I start fidgeting, acting funny, don't want to talk to them, avoid walking around the long way, walking on eggshells. Man, nothing stops me from being me. Bottom line, I show up. I don't care who they tell me gonna be there. I'm showing up if I'm supposed to show up. And when I show up, I'm showing out. Better believe it. When I show up, I'm showing out.
Come to work. If you don't show up, now everybody has all these, the perception changes.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't show up. He's not a team player. He really doesn't care about us. But you have all this little talk, side talk going on. Just show up, dude. You quell all that.
Yeah. Amen, Walls. Yeah. The most, I'm going to just read the first part. You said the Matrix has shown itself absolutely care about skin tone. The most, be better, do better. The most, but let me tell you something. That isn't just white people. That isn't just white people, the most, be better. That isn't just white people. That's white people, that's black people, green, yellow, plaid, whatever you call it. Because I can tell you this. I mean, I grew up back in the day. I grew up in all black neighborhoods. I'm from the hood. And even amongst ourselves, the most be better. We were tripping on dark-skinned people, light-skinned people. I'm in between, so I didn't really have a lot of people talking about my skin color. But I can remember a time when people used to talk about dark people. Now we got a thing where we talk about light people. Light-skinned people. We do that within ourselves. So it's not just a white thing. This society, it isn't just about a white thing about people who emphasize color. Everybody seems to be locked in on color. Everybody. And the gospel and people who say they are people of God, well, the gospel was supposed to break that barrier. But we get a lot of people, and this is the world we live in, and we have to continue to understand this, that everybody don't think like this. Everybody don't think like me. Everybody don't think like God. So it's not just a thing about black folks, man. This is a thing and a problem throughout our world. It's a problem. Catherine the Kid said, that's so true. I don't care who like me. Shoot. I ain't let nobody stop me from being me. Doomsday. It's George Pickens, man. We've been talking about George Pickens. That's why I got the ski mask on today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, it's creeping up a little bit on me, Edwin. Yeah, it's creeping up a little bit on me. What's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Four Pocket said the energy feels different. They're about to surprise a bunch of haters. I believe so, too. Oh, Jabril Quinn, you said something. When people are talking about you, that means you're doing something right. Well, especially when you're doing something right. Because they could be talking about you if you're doing something wrong, too. Yeah. My sister Angie, what is going on? Hey, the G-Ski. Yeah, what is going on? What is going on? What up, Bazzy9? Got the shiesty on today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's keep rolling here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Jerry Betts. You just said something. Hold on. Oh, I remember this. Jeremy Best said people with good hair. I used to call it good hair. People with good hair. People with nappy hair, as we used to call it. Same negative thing. We all got to stop and get over. We won y'all for real. Avatars in an indifferent universe living our lives. Man, God made people in different colors, and it was never a problem until the devil got involved. Brandon Cup, you just said something. Hate is colorless. Bottom line, so is sin. I heard an old preacher say, and I say it, we don't have a skin problem, we have a sin problem. That's what we have. We have a sin problem. Sam Harper says a white man who grew up in LA in the 70s, color didn't matter, trash was trash, and we rolled how it was deserved. Timmy Terry, he said they ain't talking about me being dark-skinned, G. Hey, Timmy Terry, but you getting the last laugh now. Boy, Wesley Snipes brought the dark-skinned brothers in, boy. Boy, Wesley Snipes ruined it for them light-skinned brothers, boy. He ruined it for them, I ain't lying. But yeah, man. Yeah. Appreciate you, Edwin. Appreciate you. Good. I'm glad you're here, man. Boy, yes, sir. With the shiesty. Yes, sir. All right, let's listen to some more Darren Woodson. Boy, you dropping some megaton bombs in here today, man.
Do you think agents get in the way of the
absolutely
of the football stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The agents are always chirping in your ear, and they have a job to do.
Yeah.
No, this is a business. Let's call it what it is. It is a business because in the end, he's got to take care of himself. And I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. But there's a common ground here as well. But the agent is telling you don't show up because if you get hurt, then what? And there's some truth in that. You show up, you get banged up, you get hurt. Now that your value is gone because the team gives a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want you to play and all, but when you get hurt, oh, you got an ankle injury? Well, man,
sure,
that sucks for you. But now your value is dropped. So there's some give and take there. I'm just saying, for a guy like Pickens, yeah, you're gonna have a contract issue. Maybe you're not on the field doing all that, but just be in the building.
There it is.
Be in the building.
And again, I don't think he's going to have to worry about that. Because the Cowboys seem to be saying that they're going to build in the holdout for George Pickens. They're building in the holdout. The hold in. He don't have to hold in. They're building it in. They're saying that when he comes in, we're not just going to put him right to work. This seems to be very simple for me as it applies to Brian Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott because they're so dialed in together. The point for them is just to get George Pickens in the building. They're not so concerned about him out there practicing. They want him in the building. And I agree. Just come to the building. Just come stand on the sideline. Just come watch the installs. That's all you need. We know what George Pickens is. I'm sure George Pickens is keeping himself in shape. I'm sure that he is. Just come to the building. And he's there today. And I'm telling you now, that is a sigh of relief for a lot of people on this team. Y'all think this is a sigh of relief for only some of us? This is a sigh of relief for this team. I guarantee you they're excited that George is there because, again, it's less drama for the team. And I don't think there is concern about the drama outside. They just don't want the drama inside permeating from inside of the building. And so far, it's not permeating from inside of the building. So, man, I ain't worried about. I ain't double negative. I know what I said. I ain't worried about chit chatter from outside the building about George Pickens. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. Mark Davis, he said, I appreciate you sending all Cowboys Nation to the channel. On your channel for the subs. Hey, no doubt. Plug the name down there again. Plug the name again, brother. Plug it again. Tatiana, she said, I'm just excited to see George play. Yes! Tatiana, I'm telling you, year 2, I just don't know about other people. I'm excited to see Brian Schottenheimer in year 2. I'm excited to see Dak Prescott in year 2 with both CeeDee Lamb and now trusting George Pickens. I'm so excited from that perspective. I'm so excited for Javonte Williams, year 2 with the Cowboys. So excited George Pickens, year 2 with CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, year 2 with George Pickens. So excited for this dynamic offense, year 2. So excited for year 1 of Christian Parker, BT Jordan, who I believe is going to be the unsung hero of this team. There is just so much to be excited for this team. I don't see how people could even be negative when it comes to this team. I really don't. There's too much good going on this team. I'm just so excited. I am. I just think it's going to be a great season for the Cowboys. Evan said Gene Pickens needs to be there no matter what. Shut the front door on all the BS, garbage, even the effing agent. Yeah. Yeah. Brandon Cummings said 15-2. He said, I'm calling it. He said, I'm calling it. Timmy Terry said, gee, Tatiana is so beautiful. Hey, tell Tatiana. Tatiana. Timmy Terry. Kippy said, Pickens is the life of the Cowboys right now, to be honest. A little bigger than Caleb Downs. We have a real squad. I'm with you, Kippy. Sam Harper, I'm with you. GP is a game changer. Bazzy9 said he missed you, Tatiana. Yeah. Yeah, Bernard Fields, Air BT Jordan. I'm telling you, man, BT Jordan is going to be the unsung hero. He really is. Hey, Bama boy, this is one of them, man. This isn't a wool one. This is a thin one. Yeah, this is a thin one. Absolutely. Yeah, this is a thin one right here. Yeah, this is all good. Yeah, Edwin. Hey, Phil Maffa. Yeah, Phil Maffa, bro. I'm excited for Jaden Blue, but I am definitely excited about Phil Maffa. Leroy Humphrey, what is going on? All right, let's listen to Darren Woodson talk about Dak Prescott. Darren Woodson also had some things to say about Dak Prescott. And Darren Woodson has always been big on Dak Prescott. Darren Woodson has been, he's always been impressed with, he's always been impressed with Dak Prescott. Let me go to this Dak Prescott thing he said. And matter of fact, let's listen to the Jimmy Johnson thing. I thought it was very interesting when he talked about the Jimmy Johnson departure. And this is one of the reasons why I think some of y'all have been so frustrated with the Dallas Cowboys. Check this out.
Season because of how long that season was.
How much did the speculation of Jimmy and the Jerry, how did that play with you, and how did it play in the locker room?
Man. That was tough because we had won 2 back-to-back championships, and we were gunned for third. Like, we were so gunned up, like that. So that the energy in that room was, we knew we could make history.
Right.
And I still to this day remember Michael Irvin saying, "Okay, back-to-back, we'll win 3 and 4. Like, we're gonna make history around this joint, right?" And we were like, we just bought in, and Jimmy was all in. You know, how Jimmy was. Jimmy was like, "Hey, dude, we just won a Super Bowl."
See, and I've told y'all this about Michael Irvin. This is one of the reasons why I want George Pickens on this team. This is one of the reasons. I love CeeDee Lamb. He's an absolute monster. But George Pickens he's got this tenacity about him. He's got this tenacity about him that you absolutely want on your sideline. He's that guy out there we've heard, talking noise and just a whole different type of player. And I love the dynamic between him and CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, man, I'm telling you, sometimes, I tell people sometimes if you get used to eating filet mignon too much, somebody might bring a pork chop by and you'll think a pork chop is better than the filet mignon. Now, I'm not saying George Pickens is a pork chop because he's filet mignon too. But sometimes people get excited about something new. Let's not forget, CeeDee Lamb is a monster. Absolutely, he's a monster. But George Pickens is a monster too. He's just a different type of monster with the way he carries on the field. And Michael Irvin was a big part of that Dallas Cowboy, 90s Cowboys winning Super Bowls. You could dare say that Michael Irvin was the de facto leader of that team. Michael Irvin partied hard and played hard. Partied hard, practiced hard, played hard. That was one Michael Irvin. And George Pickens, while he don't do all those things, I see George Pickens being similar to Michael Irvin, as in that kind of guy that gets the players around him excited. He's that kind of player. He absolutely is. And so I'm just so excited there's just so much to be excited about for this team, man. It just is.
All right, we're gunning for next year. You guys take some time off, but when you come back, here we go, right? Yeah. And that was, I think we were in the moment. Like that team was in the moment and knew that we had something that we could go on 3, 4 years, 5 years, hopefully, and win Super Bowls, right? But when Jimmy was fired or was let go, whatever the situation was, the air came out of the room.
Yeah.
It was out. It was just gone. Didn't matter who we brought in.
Yeah.
The guy who led that program is gone. And it's like, okay, where in the hell are we going now? And now I think it was the first time you felt like there was a power shift. Like you kind of knew, okay, this is about Jerry.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you. My first couple of years in the league in 92 and 93, I rarely saw Jerry.
Right.
Rarely. Jerry was fighting. I have so much respect now for what Jerry was doing.
Trying to keep afloat.
He was trying to keep afloat, one. And then he was, as a business owner, now I'm a business owner, understanding. I'm like, man, I got so much respect for this man. Yeah. He's fighting the leagues and lawsuits. He's trying to bring in Nike. He's trying to, do so many things outside that really helped the NFL that I didn't see that. All I was thinking about was on that field. Yeah. And on that field, Jimmy was the guy. And
you can't handle the truth.
This part right here is why so many people have ill feelings towards Jerry Jones. I understand it. It's this part right here. And I believe this is even why Troy Aikman has ill feelings towards Jerry Jones that he might never admit out loud, even though I believe he shows it. They feel like that Jerry Jones destroyed one of what could have been. Okay, we won 3 out of 4. But there are a lot of us who believe that Dallas Cowboys team of the 90s, I just don't think there would have been any stopping that team. I don't think that's one of the first teams that I can remember. I believe they could have won in a 10-year span from 92 to 2002. I believe that Dallas Cowboys team could have easily inked out 6 Super Bowls. I absolutely believe it. Minimum. I believe that team could have inked out 6 Super Bowls. Absolutely. I believe they could have inked out 6 Super Bowls. And this is why, Dominique, he said that 90s Cowboys team could have been the Patriots, what the Patriots were. And Dominique, we've talked about this thing with Jerry Jones. But I think this is where a lot of people got issues with Jerry Jones. I don't even think people are as mad at Jerry Jones about some of the things he's done over the last 10 to 15 years. I think people still haven't got over the Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones issue. And Jimmy didn't get fired. Jerry just didn't renew the contract. Now, we can call that fired, but he actually didn't get fired. He didn't renew the contract. It was dumb. But I'm going to tell you something that was dumb on the part of Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was dumb too. Barry Switzer said, when they interviewed him years later about this, Barry Switzer said he talked to Jimmy and Jerry. And he asked both of them, how did y'all bleep this up? Barry Switzer asked them that because in actuality, we can blame Jerry Jones's ego, but we can also blame Jimmy Johnson's ego. Because Jimmy Johnson admitted it in the Netflix special. He made a mistake too. When Jerry Jones said, we did it, why would Jimmy Johnson not toast Jerry Jones and say, yes, we did it? Why wouldn't he say it? Because they did do it. They did do it. Was Jimmy the architect? I would dare say yes. He was the architect. He was the architect of the culture. He was the architect of the talent on the team. He was the architect of the roster. He was the architect as in the coaching staff. He was the architect as in, the staff that fit the players. I mean, he didn't call plays. He wasn't an OC. He wasn't a DC. He was a great coach. Jimmy was the architect of the 90s Cowboys. But it was Jerry who was signing the checks. It was Jerry who was marketing the Cowboys. It was Jerry who even brought him in. It was Jerry agreeing to trades. It was Jerry helping work out some of those trades. Yes, Jerry was doing that. It is as simple as this. When Jerry said we did it, Jimmy should have said we did it. He should have said we did it. Bottom line, he should have said we did it. Both of those men were full of pride. Both of them. Jerry was full of pride because Jimmy isn't appreciative of Jerry was not only, see, people didn't understand what Jerry was doing. While Jimmy was the architect of the Dallas Cowboys, he didn't realize that Jerry Jones was the architect of the present NFL. Jerry Jones is the architect of this, y'all. Everything we're seeing, all of the endorsement deals, all the TV deals, all this stuff y'all are watching, Jerry Jones, even when you talk about the spaceship football stadiums, everything you are seeing with the popularity of the NFL, Jerry Jones took the NFL to a whole nother level. The Dallas Cowboys were already popular, but Jerry Jones took their popularity and drugged the NFL with him, fighting and kicking and screaming. He drugged the entire NFL with him, and he blew up the NFL while still having his team as America's team. And he did that by, one, getting a coach that can win, and number two, by his thesis statement and his paper from college. You really can't help in the grand scheme of things. You really can't help but give Jerry Jones credit. But Jimmy couldn't do that. And the thing that I appreciate about Barry Switzer, he's not going to make the same mistake. I mean, not Barry Switzer, excuse me. The thing that I like about Brian Schottenheimer, he's not going to make the same mistake. Brian Schottenheimer, have y'all not noticed? He gives Jerry Jones credit for every little thing Jerry does because he's saying Jerry is a part of this. And by him saying that Jerry is a part of this, Jerry is giving Brian Schottenheimer almost everything that he wants. Yeah, and Jimmy didn't quit. No, Jimmy didn't quit. No, it's well reported. Jimmy didn't quit. Jerry didn't bring him back. Jerry didn't bring him back. Jimmy wanted to stay. Jerry didn't bring him back. Jabril, that was it. Jimmy didn't give Jerry his flowers. He admitted it. He admitted it. And that's why when Jimmy went to Miami, I think that was the moment he realized everybody ain't like Jerry. Everybody in the NFL isn't going to let me do what Jerry did. What Jerry allowed Jimmy to do was actually unprecedented in a lot of respects. It was unprecedented. But hey, you got to give people credit. Dominique says, a lifelong fan, I can admit both of them were at fault. Yep. But I can say Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones, in my opinion, has put his own ego in the way of the team's success, value, media, attention, money over winning. Now, Dominique, let me tell you why I agree with you at. Let me tell you why I agree. Let me tell you where I agree with you. But see, Dominique, this is the part that people can't discount Jerry for. And this is what really had Jerry in an uproar. Jerry doesn't just value. Jerry is doing something, Dominique, and Dallas Cowboys Nation. Jerry is doing something that other owners don't do. Jerry is doing something that other owners don't do. Jerry gives a doggone about the NFL. A lot of us don't realize this. Before Jerry Jones stepped into the NFL was nowhere near as popular as it is now. It wasn't the most popular sport. People were not paying attention to football the way that they are today. Jerry Jones is the architect of that. He is the architect of it. Jerry didn't just value media attention for himself. No, Jerry valued media attention for the entire NFL. Jerry didn't just value money over winning. And I don't think he necessarily valued money over winning, but I can tell you this, he definitely valued money. And what Jerry Jones showed the NFL was they were leaving a lot of money on the table. And I said this when I first started this channel, and this is where I fault Jerry Jones. And in Jerry Jones, and again, I don't want us to discount Jerry Jones. Because if you listen to Darren Woodson is actually giving Jerry Jones the credit that he deserves in a sense. Jerry Jones' issue is he's been too busy building the NFL while allowing other NFL teams to build their teams. Jerry's been trying to build the NFL. That's what Jerry Jones has been guilty of. And what Jerry Jones did, and this is why, y'all haven't noticed this? What owners do you ever hear talk bad about Jerry Jones? Why do you think these owners don't talk bad about Jerry Jones? You're rarely going to see owners talk bad about Jerry Jones. You want to know why? Because they owe Jerry Jones so much. Jerry Jones has not just put money in his own pocket. Jerry Jones has made these owners richer than they ever imagined. Jerry did that. And if Jerry is guilty of anything, Jerry is guilty of neglecting his team, not for money. That's the mistake people make. Jerry has neglected his team, building the NFL rather than building his team. That's the mistake Jerry made. That's the mistake he made. And Jimmy, and the luxury that he had with Jimmy is that Jimmy was a football man. And so Jerry could go do all of the NFL building because Jimmy was the architect, as I just said. Jimmy was the architect of the 90s Cowboys. He was the architect. And when Jimmy, and y'all got to understand the disrespect that Jerry felt. Jerry is saying, bro, I didn't just build the Dallas Cowboys. I have built the NFL. And when I tell you that we did it, I hired you. I listened to you. And you're not going to hold up your glass and say, we did it because you're resentful? Because you want all the credit? I don't know about y'all, but I'd have a problem too.
You can't handle the truth.
I'd have a problem too. Man, the Bible says some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Do y'all know what the beautiful thing is? It all goes into the same pot. Come on, man. This is the problem with people. You can't build championship teams if everybody is concerned about who put what in. If you put in a 90% and I put in 2%, and if I come to you and say we did it, then you need to say, yeah, we did it. You need to say we did it. Yeah, I blame Jimmy too. Jimmy's ego was as big as Jerry's. It was as big as Jerry's. As big as Jerry's. Jimmy is a part of this nonsense too. And that's why Barry Switzer confronted him. He said, how did y'all bleep this up? How did y'all bleep this up? But I can tell you this, Brian Schottenheimer is not going to make the same mistake. Brian Schottenheimer is already putting the horse before the carriage. Brian Schottenheimer continues to say, we're doing this. I'm a big fan of Jerry Jones. Jerry did this. Jerry did that. Jerry helped us do this. That's how you do it. Let me tell you what true leaders do. True leaders make everybody feel important. Everybody. That's what they do. True leaders make everybody feel important. Everybody. And again, I mean, man, people don't understand, man. Jerry wasn't making himself money as much as people don't understand. No, Jerry is making the NFL money. This is why they don't talk bad about Jerry Jones. Darren Woodson just said it, man. Jerry was battling the whole NFL. NFL was antiquated, man. It was antiquated. Man, these players, they never would have got the money they're getting until Jerry Jones came in this league. Jerry Jones is the architect of these humongous contracts. Man, people do not realize. And I'll give that guy from the San Francisco 49ers credit as far as paying players. But now Jerry was the one that really upped the ante. Jerry brought in Deion Sanders, and people were mad. Y'all remember when people were mad at Jerry Jones? Because not only did he pay Deion Sanders, come on, man, everybody know it. Everybody know it. Jerry Jones didn't just pay Deion Sanders a humongous contract. He got him, the moment he signed with the Cowboys, he got Pepsi. He got Pizza Hut. He's doing all these big endorsement deals. How? How is he doing them? Jerry bleeping Jones. Jerry bleeping Jones. And that's why when Jerry raised them glasses, Jimmy Johnson was wrong. And I bet you if Jimmy Johnson could go back and do it again, I guarantee you, Jimmy Johnson know what he knows now? Jimmy would have raised 2 glasses. He'd have raised 2 glasses. absolutely he would have raised 2 glasses.
You know, when your leader's gone, things just absolutely changed. Just totally changed. And, you know, you had guys who had long relationships, Michael Irvin and Emmett and Troy, and they were upset. And, you know, when your leadership, there's turmoil in leadership. And then you had coaches like Butch Davis wanted the job, Joe Avizano wanted the job. Like there were so many pieces of this puzzle that were going on. And then Barry Switzer came in, and he was an outsider coming in. And they just plopped him in with Jimmy's coaches. And I'm telling you, it just didn't mix. It just wasn't a good mix.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Darren Woodson is telling it like it is. He's telling it like it is. And Jimmy, I believe that Jimmy would have still had that same kind of, if he'd got extended with the Cowboys. I believe if he toasts that glass with Jerry, he's extended. I believe he's extended. And it really made Jerry mad when he started hearing about the Jacksonville Jaguars, that there was some talk about Jimmy and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Jerry was furious. Mark Davis said, "Gee, you preached the football gospel about Jerry. Excellent point." Yeah. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. People think that Jerry was trying to fill his own pockets. No, he was filling the pockets of these owners, man. They were antiquated. They were running the NFL antiquated, man. The NFL, people do not appreciate how Jerry has impacted this sport. Jerry has impacted this sport in ways that people just don't understand. Freddie said, "Gee, have you ever watched the NFL Network's episode of NFL Football Live? In that episode, Jimmy himself said that regardless of if they had won that 3rd Super Bowl in a row or not, he was done after that year." Yeah. Yeah, he says that. It's easy to say that when you didn't get brought back. Yeah, it's easy to say that. Yeah, I'm going to say that too. I'm going to say that too if you let me go, Freddie. I'm going to say that too. But he also admitted in that Netflix special, yeah, he made a mistake. Yeah, he was wrong. He's absolutely wrong. Dumb. And I can tell you right now, Brian ain't making that same mistake. Schottenheimer is ahead of this thing. I'm going to tell you, Schotty's got visions of Super Bowls dancing in his head. And Schotty is saying from the get-go, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a huge part of this. Bam Boy said Jerry has power in the NFL so can we win another trophy like Robert Kraft and the Deflategate low pressure? It's coming. Bam Boy, I think it's coming. I think we're watching a Jerry Jones now. That Jerry Jones, and I think he's got one more big thing I think he's working on for the NFL. But I think now, looking at Jerry now, he can finally step back and say, I've done my part in the NFL. I've done my part. Jerry has done so much for the NFL that now they can take it the rest of the way. They can take it the rest of the way. Now Jerry is finally saying after 32 years, man, Jerry is finally saying, guys, I got to step back and build my team. I wish he'd have done it sooner. I wish he'd have done that sooner. I think he should have did it way long time ago. Better late than never, but doggone, man. People don't realize, man, Jerry hasn't just dedicated his life to making money from the Cowboys. That's a small way of looking at Jerry. Jerry has dedicated his life to turning the NFL into what he envisioned in college, and it's there. It's there. Football is the number one sport pretty much in the world outside of this soccer stuff. I mean, it's the number one sport in the world. And if y'all haven't been paying attention, Jerry Jones is a part of this stuff too. Jerry Jones now is trying to take the NFL global. Now he's trying to take it global. Him and the people that they're working with, they're trying to take the NFL global. And that's why I see a day where we're going to have NFL teams, they're going to be playing 2 games international. I see a day where there will be a championship between who actually is the best team in the world, where football teams all over the globe will compete for the true world championship. Yep, now it's time for Jerry to pull back. He got it all in motion. Now, Jerry, you got to start helping your team get built. And now we're finally seeing that after 32 years. That's the issue with Jerry Jones. I said this when I first started the channel. Jerry's problem is he was too busy trying to build the NFL. And the other 31 teams, they're not trying to build the NFL. They're building their teams. Yeah, Edwin, yep, Jerry and Jimmy. Yep, Jerry lets his pride get in the way of a dynasty. To me, they were both at fault. Yeah, Jerry 70%, Jimmy 30. I can take that. I can take it. 70-30. You can even make it 80-20. You can make it 80-20. Jerry's other issue is that Jerry, being owner and GM, Jerry was actually letting Jimmy do GM things as far as building the team. And I think he needed to stay with that same factor. I mean, kind of stay with that same type of way he was doing it. But he wanted to prove, since Jimmy was saying, oh, he don't know nothing about football. And Jerry wanted to prove, man, we could do this. You know, anybody could take this team to a championship. Oh, yeah, after Jimmy done built it? Yeah. Of course. After Jimmy built it. But if those 2 men could have let their egos, put their egos to the side, oh my gosh. The Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, just like Dominique Pittman said, we would have been the Patriots of the 90s. As a matter of fact, we wouldn't have been the Patriots of the 90s. Dominique Pittman, let's say it a different way. If the Cowboys would have won probably as many Super Bowls as they should have, we would be saying that the Patriots are being like the 90s Cowboys. That's what we would have been saying. Absolutely would have been saying. All right, let's check out some more of him talking about Dak Prescott. And then I'm gonna get out of this shiesty.
Do you think Dak has what it takes to take
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our office at the Star. My office is at the Star. I'm on the 3rd floor, and I look down on that practice field every single day. Every single day. And let me tell you, the guy I see in the offseason, and it starts in like March, February, so the end of February, Dak is out there throwing to guys who aren't going to make the team.
Right.
Like they're not going to make this team. And it's in the morning. Yeah. I mean, if there's one consistent, it's Dak Prescott. He's showing up, right? Dak Prescott could have played in any era. Yeah. Any era. Because his will is want to succeed and want to lead and all those things. I think he has all the.
You can't handle the truth.
Do y'all remember we were having this conversation the other day? Do y'all remember that? What did I say about Dak Prescott? I said this just a few days ago before Darren Woodson said this. Did I not say this? Dak Prescott could play in any era. I said the same thing. Dak Prescott, with Jimmy as his coach, and the weapons they had, and Dak Prescott's athleticism, oh my gosh. What? One of the biggest mistakes also that I believe that Jerry Jones has made with Dak Prescott, he has asked Dak Prescott to do something that Troy Aikman was never asked to do. And that is put the entire team on your shoulder, play outside of yourself, play mistake-free football, and just rise to a level that is otherworldly and just drag this team to the Super Bowl. They never asked Troy Aikman to do that. Troy Aikman played with top 5 defenses. Had the number 1 overall defense in 1992. He had the best running back in NFL history. I mean, doggone it. Troy Aikman had this man on his team.
You can't handle the truth.
We're asking Dak Prescott to win the Super Bowl without these type of players. That's what we're asking Dak Prescott to do.
You can't handle the truth.
That's what we're asking him to do. It's crazy. I don't think we realize how crazy this stuff actually is when we talk about Dak Prescott. Even when we look at what just happened with Jalen Hurts in 2024, absolute super team around it. Absolute super team. Matthew Stafford. How do they go to the Super Bowl? When they go, absolute super team around it. Sean McVay right now putting an absolute super team. At least he's trying to bring Aaron Donald out of retirement. They're trying to put super teams. That's what they're doing. But with Jimmy, it wasn't just the talent. And they'll tell you this every single time. It wasn't just the talent. It was the mentality that Jimmy built in every one of those players. It was the talent. But at the same time, all those players held each other accountable. They all held each other accountable. They were all dogs. They were all immensely talented, and they benefited from Jimmy Johnson. We've asked Dak Prescott to do that without that type of coaching, without that type of coaches, without those type of players. We throw everything on Dak Prescott. And as Jerry said, this was one of the worst statements that Jerry used to make that used to infuriate me. We only go as far as Dak Prescott take us. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. It's terrible. So it now looks like Jerry has learned from the error of his ways. But Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott isn't the reason why that he's 2-5 in the playoffs.
Tangible. Now, does he have to win the big game? Absolutely. Yeah. He's got to win the game. It's no different than I look at Tony Romo. Tony Romo was one of the great passers of the game. Like, he was tremendous. People don't give Tony Romo enough credit for who he is.
Does it not sound like Darren Woodson and me had a conversation? And I told y'all this same stuff last week before Darren Woodson was even interviewed? Did I not say the same thing? What if I told y'all multiple times about Tony Romo? What if I told y'all about Tony Romo? Darren Woodson is saying the same thing. Same stuff I said about Dak Prescott. Same stuff I said about Tony Romo. What if I told y'all, man, Tony Romo was an immensely talented athlete. Natural thrower of the football. So many things, Tony Romo. Tony Romo's issue was his dedication and his drive.
He was, right? Tony's biggest issue is if he had gotten to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, we're looking at him totally different. Totally different. He's a Hall of Famer. Right. Numbers are big. Like, he was special at doing those things. He just couldn't get over the hump. Dak's going to fall in the same category if he does not get over the hump. Sure. People are not going to care about your numbers or what you did, how you led. They're going to want you to get to the pinnacle. Yeah. And that's just how quarterbacks are looked at.
Sure. How much easier is it to play defense when you have...
What did I tell y'all? Do y'all remember me making that point right there? What did I tell y'all? Dak Prescott, first ballot Hall of Famer with a Super Bowl. Just one. Dak Prescott don't have to eclipse Troy Aikman with 3 or eclipse him with 4. Dak Prescott already has Hall of Fame numbers. Dak Prescott, by the time it is said and done, Dak Prescott is going to eclipse every Dallas Cowboy record other than Super Bowls. That's it. Dak Prescott wins 1 Super Bowl in this era of Jerry Jones. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Watch what I tell you. first ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer. He's already got the numbers. He's right. He's got to win it, but he can't win it by himself. Super Bowls are not a quarterback stat. Super Bowls are a team stat. Shout out to Crown Media over there. All right. Shout out to Crown Media. Man, I've been rocking that castor oil on my hair, man. You see how my head kind of shining. Been rocking that castor oil. All right, let's move on over here. I saw a story a couple of days ago. I don't know if y'all saw this. Man, I saw a story on Perrion Winfrey. And this is crazy. And I've seen people talking about, yeah, man, that's why they didn't extend Perrion Winfrey. Now, I don't think Perrion Winfrey did this. I don't think Perrion Winfrey did this with the Cowboys, but we're going to check out Perrion Winfrey. Let me read a couple of comments, man. Amber Soprano said, oh, he watched the video. I'm not saying he watched the video, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because man, yeah, he know way more football than me. But, man, he sounds an awful a lot like what I said, doesn't he? Man, I'm telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. Tony Romo, naturally talented. Dak Prescott, an athlete who had to work to be naturally talented. They used to call Tony Romo Tony Ono, boy. You want to talk about made some mistakes. Man, my wife still talk about that one from Seattle, man. My wife still talk about that one. Rico Jones, he watched the show. I doubt Darren Woodson is watching my show, but boy, it sounded an awful lot alike. JCT said Romo was a very talented passer and was extremely mobile for his size. He was a baller. Oh, straight up. Bazzy 9, yep, Tony could have been Big Ben. Yeah. Yep, Incognito, he said facts G. He said same as your words last week. I'm telling you, man. Telling you. Y'all gonna call me a prophet before it's over. Cowboys get that Super Bowl this year, man. Man, Cowboys get that Super Bowl this year. I'm gonna be the content creator of 2026. I'm gonna be the content creator of 2026. Because everybody gonna remember who told them. Everybody gonna remember who told them. He said in 2025, 2024, that the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl in 2026. Frank Lawrence said, well, most obvious things to point out, Pickens' spot on depth chart isn't going to be up for grabs. Nope. Had Pickens decided to hold out for minicamp, odds of him being traded would have increased significantly.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. See that too. The most be better, he said, gee, Schotty's already read the tea leaves. He joined an organization with the best quarterback in the NFC, used his father's approach to winning and applying them with the Cowboys organization. Genius. Yeah, man. Incognito, yes, sir. Mask off, man. Mask off. Jason Brewer, that's it. He has nothing left to do but win the Super Bowl. That's it. You're right. That's it. There's nothing left for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, is he great? Yes. Dak Prescott, Pro Bowl? Yes. All Pro? Yes. Dak Prescott, MVP, should have got one. Dak Prescott, we know everything about Dak Prescott. I don't think we need now the Super Bowl. That's it. That's it. And he gonna get it. He gonna get it. Bazzy CG, you gonna clean up at the Streamy Awards this year. Yeah. All right, man, let's check out this thing with Perrion Winfrey, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Man, this thing with Perrion Winfrey. Did y'all see the video? Any of y'all seen this? Let me pull it up real quick. The Perrion Winfrey video. Let me see. All right, hold on a second. This Perrion Winfrey video popped up a few days ago. Let me see. All right, so y'all brace yourself. I'm pretty sure there are about to be, let me see.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, y'all brace yourself. I'm sure there is some profanity in this clip, so y'all brace yourself. This is the Perrion Winfrey outburst. I don't know if y'all saw this. Check it out.
Wake the fuck up! Make your fucking kicks when we got the opportunity. Stop all this fucking crying and bullshit. All y'all talk about is fucking running the ball. And then we run the ball, we don't fucking go anywhere. Fucking communicate. Fucking tired of it.
Now, I don't know. Do y'all see this? I hadn't watched it, but I knew it was going to be some profanity in it, so y'all forgive me. So I may have to go back and clean this up later on.
Playing fucking scared. Scared to not make a fucking mistake. Fuck that.
All right, they're in their locker room going through their shit. They're trying to make adjustments. Expect the most, right? You a bitch. You a bitch. You a bitch. Fuck wrong with you? Get your fucking hands off me.
I'm trying to decipher what's actually happening. But Perrion, he's going off on the defensive coaches and some of the defensive players.
Did y'all see this, man? What in the world? Perrion Winfrey is going off. Have y'all seen this? This is crazy. Hey, Incognito, boy, you are not lying, bro. That is a real OG coach right there. Straight facts.
Oh, you don't want to talk no more? Me, please. Scary ass, come on. Please, just get on. Come on. You a bitch. You a bitch. You a bitch, bro. Okay. I need you ever disrespect me. Sorry ass team. Put a fucking team together, AJ. You already get your ass kicked every fucking week. Put a fucking team together, AJ.
Dude, what? This dude is crazy. This dude said, get your sorry team together, AJ. God, what did this, man, did this defense coordinator say something about this man's mama? I mean, you don't see people act like this too much unless somebody saw about their mama. Golly, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy, man. Catherine the kids, what is going on? This is crazy. Tatiana, this is when he was in the UFL. Yeah, this is when he was in the UFL. So, yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, this is when he was in the, it was a couple years ago, the UFL. Yeah, he going off, man. He going off.
They got the cameras. We can't put up with that dude anymore. It's a cancer.
Wow.
I need you to hold your composure a little bit, okay?
Drop your
Wow. 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 Say we can't put up with that, man. So you gotta get him out of here. Yeah, Jabril, nothing worse than team. Nothing worse than team division. Boy, damn. Marvin Mays, he said he's about to lay the coach out. Boy. Hey, babe. Marvin Mays, I'm telling you, bro, I played football in middle school and coaches was cussing you out, man. Man, I don't know about this new era. I don't know. But I can tell you, when I was in middle school, coaches were cursing you out worse than what that guy doing. And I don't know what the defense coordinator said. I don't know what he said. Breaking Mock, he said, Breaking Mock 5, he said, Tony was so close twice. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Tony Romo might have been close 3 or 4 times. He might have been close 3 or 4 times. Now Dak gonna be good. This won't be Dak's last chance breaking Mach 5. Now Dak got a ways to go. Wait a minute. 72 Chevelle, you said this was 2 weeks ago. What? Wait, you said this was 2 weeks ago? I didn't know he was back in the UFL. Elbow on the ground. On the ground. Tadiel says, this is why we didn't see much of him on the field. I don't think he could have done this in the Cowboys locker room. Oh, I don't think he could have did this in the Cowboys locker room. Incognito said he messed up the whole motivational speech. Katharina Kiss, it sounds like he's talking to, he's mad at the defensive coordinator. So I don't know what the defensive coordinator said. Country Field, he said, we would have went to the Super Bowl if they made their right call on Dez's catch. Country Field. I also think there's a good chance the Cowboys would have went to the Super Bowl in 2016 and Dak Prescott's and Ezekiel Elliott's rookie year. Because I don't think the team after Green Bay would have beat them. The Cowboys would have been 1 game from the Super Bowl. I think they win. I think 2016, 2016, Dak's rookie year. I think they win. Incognito, he said, for real, G, he said, I heard a lot worse. I mean, what this guy said, man, we would have been kind of just sitting back like, man, this ain't nothing, you know. I mean, it's not like we wouldn't have took it serious, but we'd have been just like, okay, I got you. But, man, I don't know whoever this defense coordinator is, he must have said something crazy. He must have said something crazy. Sam Trusevelle said, yes, sir, this is the first year of A.J. McCarron coaching. What? Crazy. Crazy work. I didn't know he was back in the UFL. King Gresh said, man, they was dropping F-bombs in pop water. Boy, you ain't lying, bro. Boy, you ain't lying. And King Gresh, and your parents could be at the practices here in the F-bombs. And you get in the car and they'll be agreeing with them. Crazy. Jeff Pope said he ended up throwing paper plates in cups. Breaking my, man, I saw it the other day and I didn't get a chance. Sorry, D. Boy, still going off, bro.
Nuts and let's go, baby.
Golly, bro. That is crazy work. I don't know what happened between the coach making the speech.
Actually happening, but Perrion, he's...
Who is he talking to?
I'm trying to decipher what's actually happening, but...
So is the guy who made the speech, is he the DC?
Perrion, he's going off on the defensive coaches and some of the defensive players.
Oh, you don't want to talk no more? For me, please. Scary ass, come on. Please, just get come on. Come on. You a bitch. You a bitch. You a bitch, bro. Okay.
You gonna have a hard time getting in the NFL with that, bruh. You have a hard time getting back in the NFL with that. Man, if he ever wanted to get back.
It's cancer.
I need you to hold your composure a little bit, okay?
Drop your nuts and let's go, baby.
Senator Chevelle said this was a couple of weeks ago breaking Mach 5. Man. Whoa, way. Boy, he went off. Boy, he went off. There would be blood. He said, I love those type of coaches. Say, who kind of passionate like Jerry Jones? I mean, Jimmy Johnson in the 90s. It's crazy, man. JCT said Jalen Hurts had the most talented roster that we've seen. I think so. Jalen Hurts, man, I think we may have seen one of the most talented teams since one of those Cowboys teams. Yeah, it reminds me of the 90s Cowboys and Harbaugh in the Jim Harbaugh's 49ers. Boy, they was talented. Yeah, he gonna have a hard time. Larry Hunter said, wow, yeah, he gonna have a hard time, boy. I'm missing something in here. I don't know. Mac, you ain't like, boy, you cannot coach like that no more, bro. Nah, you can't coach like that no more. No, people want a little bit more, you know. Man, this new generation ain't built, they ain't built for that kind of talk, bro. This new generation ain't built for that kind of talk. This new generation, boy, you might find yourself fighting. I ain't lying, boy. You might find yourself fighting with this kind of conversation in some spots, but it still happens in places, though. It absolutely still happens in places. So, you know, but man, that was crazy. All right, let's round this show out today. I'm glad George Pickens, and again, you know, some people are saying, you know, if George Pickens practice. No, this isn't about George Pickens practicing, Dallas Cowboy fans. Don't start listening to all the hype again if George Pickens don't practice. I don't think George Pickens is going to practice because I don't think the Cowboys are going to let him practice. Brian Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott both have said that George, when he comes back, he will be brought back in slowly. They want him here for the installs. They want him here for the leadership. They want him here for the camaraderie. They're not wanting him to come in and start running. Brandy, I will be getting back to Cowboys After Dark. I definitely will. Mr. C, UA line sensitivity has no place. It has no place. Freddie Morales says, see what happens when a man gets in the face of someone that is self-motivated. Well, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Yeah, he pretty mad. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. I mean, what happened? All right, let's see here. Let's go back to DallasCowboys.com for a second. We have listened to most of the player interviews. I want to go back, and there's a couple of more in here. There's a couple more in here I'm interested in listening to. There was actually a clip that I missed today. I meant to show y'all because people are asking, like, what does it mean? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. People are asking about what does it mean that George Pickens showed up? Because in the grand scheme of things, for as much as people are acting like, you know, whatever the case may be, I don't really think it means anything other than I just think George was always going to show up. I don't understand why people are acting like it's a big deal that he showed up, got his physical and all those things. It's not a big deal. People are making it into a big deal. It's just not a big deal. Just being honest. I don't think it means anything. If George doesn't practice the next 3 days, it means nothing. I think it means nothing. I think it's exactly what many of us thought it was going to be. He was going to show up to the mandatory. And he isn't going to do a lot of work. I mean, I don't understand people in this whole conversation. I mean, it's just a nonsensical conversation to me. And I did see something else I want to bring to your attention. Okay, this is actually the clip right here. Let's see. Actually, there are 2 new clips out here about George Pickens. Let's look at these before we move on to the player interviews. Let me put a marker here. And as a matter of fact, let's flip back up here before we do player or a player interview, because there's only probably one or two I want to hear. Frank Lawrence, I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. You know what? But I'll tell you this. I am going to do a Cowboys After Dark this week. I'm going to do one this week. My wife always gets on to me. She said, you told him you was going to do Cowboys After Dark. You need to do one. I will do one this week. I don't know when, but I will definitely let you know. Larry Hunter said, yep, they need something negative to talk about. I mean, this even includes Cowboys media. All right, they do it too. All right, let's flip back up for a moment. Mike Leslie is talking about this thing with the Cowboys. Then there's a new clip that has popped up also about this. So we're going to watch both of them. We watch both of them. Let's see.
And possibly even David Mulugheta's mindset, given that it is the same agent that is at the nexus of all of this. I also wonder where Pickens is from a mindset perspective and how Parsons' situation may inform his mindset, and possibly even David Mulugheta's mindset, given that it is the same agent that is at the nexus of all of this. Is there any buyer's remorse? Is there any regret on Micah Parsons' side of the table with the way things went down?
Oh, Anthony Keys, you know what? I think you make a good point here. Al Davis was doing some of the same things, but Al Davis, and I'll give you credit, Al Davis was doing some of the same things, but Al Davis, he was more concerned about his team. Jerry Jones upped the ante. Jerry Jones's legacy will be the 90s Cowboys, but it also, his legacy will be what he did to the Cowboys. I mean, what he did for the entire NFL. Al Davis was doing some things for his team, but not on the level of Jerry. Jerry did it for the entire NFL. Jerry fixed it so where the entire NFL is eating. That's what he did. But yeah, I get what you're saying about Al Davis. Good point on Al Davis.
Last summer, you hear him still to this day talking about the Cowboys, talking about being in Dallas, talking about, the things that he enjoyed about being here. It has led me to wonder, did that really play out how he wanted to? He obviously wanted to get his bag, but did he want to go to the nuclear option of actually forcing a trade? And if...
Great point. Great point.
You can't handle the truth.
Great point. I believe Michael Parsons and his agent really thought that the Cowboys are going to back down. And this goes back to the conversation I had last week. I believe Jerry Jones would have backed down. A lot of people keep blaming Jerry Jones for this Michael Parsons thing. I believe if it's Jerry Jones backs down because Jerry Jones absolutely loved Micah Parsons. But I keep telling y'all, people are discounting Brian Schottenheimer's influence on this franchise. Brian Schottenheimer will probably never come out in public and say this. But I believe he was a big part of Micah Parsons not being here. I believe Brian Schottenheimer told Jerry Jones he doesn't fit the culture. The guy, we already heard that even Brian Broaddus was hiding, that people were telling him that they didn't want Michael Parsons there, that there were people in the building that didn't want Michael Parsons there. I believe they were counting on Jerry Jones backing down. And I don't think they thought this was going to go as nuclear as it went. And Jerry Jones, I believe, shocked them by trading him. And I still say Jerry had love for Michael Parsons. Because I wonder if everybody agreed with Jerry trading Michael Parsons within the conference. You trade him to the Green Bay Packers with all of the franchise-changing events that have happened with the Green Bay Packers somebody pointed out 66 and 67. I can remember 2014, 2016, 2023, then the trade. I mean, we're talking about 6 different franchise-altering games between the Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. And he traded them to Green Bay. Who does that? Jerry had to like Michael Parsons to do something like that. Because I tell you this, I wouldn't have traded him to the Green Bay Packers. I'd have traded him to some team in the NFC, fixing it to where if I ever see Michael Parsons again, it would have been one time every 4 years. But now we're probably going to see him one time every year and might even be twice, depending upon the playoff seeds. But I don't think Michael thought it was going to go that far. And so he's saying that maybe George Pickens is learning from this.
Not, and whether he does or not, does it inform George Pickens relative to how he wants to handle this? And is Pickens communicating to David Mulugeta, hey, we can play this game. We can do what we need to do to try and accentuate our position as best as possible. But don't mess this thing up because I want to be here.
Whoa! Yeah!
You can't handle the truth.
Boom! Yeah! Yes! That is it right there. Your agent works for you. You don't work for your agent. You don't work for your agent. Your agent don't get to tell you what to do. He can tell you what you should do. He can tell you what's going to happen if you do this, this, and this. You're the boss. He works for you. You're the final say-so. Shoot, George said you ain't getting me out of here. At least I hope that's what he's saying. George said you ain't getting me out of here. I love the Dallas Cowboys. And I think, contrary to what some people may believe, George Pickens may absolutely love Jerry Jones. You better stop playing. People try to, people sometimes, I think they're looking at things from their perspective. No, I got a feeling, Dan, something's going to be worked out here. Catherine the kid said, I would have traded him to the Browns. Shoot, you and me both. Man. I traded him to the Browns. Shoot, I'd have traded him to the Jets. I'd have traded him, man. But Jerry didn't do it. Jerry didn't do it. I think Jerry still loves Michael Parsons and is still hurt. Man, Jerry, man, I'm telling y'all, Michael Parsons was going to games out of his own mouth. He was going to games. He was going into his office, had his personal phone number, calling Jerry his guy, all kinds of things. I used to work with a guy, and I'm telling you, he told me, he invited me and some other guys over to his house. His wife cooked for us. And we met his newborn daughter. He told us point blank range to our face. He said, once I invite you to my house, it's personal. This was a boss of ours. He said, it's personal. He said, and from this day forward, he said, you better not ever betray me. I'm telling you. Some people operate like this, man. Shoot. Brady Cup said they were sharing nachos. Doomsday said, gee, I would have traded his butt to the Jags. Shoot, boy, you ain't playing. You ain't playing, but Jerry still like him some Michael Parsons. He really does. All right, let's go to another report over here about about George Pickens. This is something that was just recently released. It's Ian Rappaport. Check out this Ian Rappaport thing here. Because again, in the grand scheme of things, this really means it doesn't necessarily mean anything as far as, we're getting some kind of surprise. But I think what it does mean is, though, George Pickens is showing the Cowboys that he wants to be here. And I'm sure they already knew it, but he's showing them for sure. There is nothing left to the imagination. He wants to be here. Let's check this out. This was released about an hour ago. Let's check this out.
That he was planning on signing. A couple of days later, officially signed.
This is Ian Rappaport talking about George Pickens.
And essentially what Stephen Jones has said and what Cowboys officials have echoed over the last several weeks and months is they simply want to see more of George Pickens. No doubt one of the most successful trades they made, or really anyone else made, last offseason. Bringing in George Pickens for a third-round pick became one of the best.
Did I not tell y'all this? Did I not tell y'all that Jerry Jones with what he did last year, Jerry Jones could have absolutely been in the running for the GM of the year. And if it wasn't last year, if the Cowboys have success, and I'm telling you, if they make the playoffs, watch what I tell you. Mark my words. You heard it from me first. If the Cowboys make the playoffs, Jerry Jones will be nominated for GM of the year. Watch what I tell you. Jerry should have been in the running last year. He actually should have been in the running last year. People don't realize something. Jerry Jones, for as much as people has hated on Jerry Jones last year was responsible for 3 of the biggest acquisitions in the NFL. 3 of the biggest acquisitions. George Pickens, Michael Parsons trade, Quinnen Williams. In a year where the Seattle Seahawks don't win the Super Bowl, that would have been GM of the year type of stuff right there. I'm just telling you. And had it had some success or more success, he might would have won it. I mean, you think about bringing in Brian Schottenheimer. So now it's going to compound. Brought in Brian Schottenheimer. Brought in George Pickens. Got 2 first-round picks. Got Quinnen Williams. Got Kenny Clark. Going to 2025. Got Caleb Downs. Parlayed another trade. I mean, you think about, they got Devin Moore. LT Overton had a very good draft this season. And we don't even know what they're going to do by the time the season starts. When you look at what Jerry Jones is putting together, this is literally GM of the year type of conversation if you have success this year. Brought in BT Jordan. We may be actually looking at even Rashawn Gary. We may be looking at Rashawn Gary in a whole different light come mid to end of the season. Rashawn Gary may look like a bargain by the time this is all said and done. Jerry Jones has been making some insane moves. And the only thing we got to see now is success. That's the only thing we have to see. I'm telling y'all right now, you heard it from me first. Let this team make the playoffs. Let this team make the playoffs. I guarantee you, Jerry Jones' name will be mentioned will be mentioned in the conversation with GM of the year. Watch what I tell you.
Receivers in the NFL, certainly someone worthy, based on his play on the field, of a huge long-term deal, worthy of being one of the top receivers in the NFL. But as is the right, what the Dallas Cowboys did was franchise him. And what George Pickens did, how he responded, is a way we really haven't seen very often among franchise sagas. He let everyone know around the time of the draft that he was planning on signing. A couple of days later, officially signed his tag. And what that means, Patrick, is not only that he locks in $27.3 million fully guaranteed, it also means that he is now under contract. So he was always going to show up for minicamp. It is mandatory. If he didn't want to show up, he would not have signed his tag. He would have waited maybe to the beginning of training camp. Pickens knows it.
You can't handle the truth.
This is the part that people don't want to accept. I don't understand why there was a lot of questioning about George Pickens not showing up. Why wouldn't he? He didn't have to sign the franchise tag yet. He signed it because he intended on being here. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
It is on him partially, Tom, to show the Cowboys that he is worthy of a long-term deal, as he did on the field last year, showing up on time, doing what's right, only the start of it for the Cowboys star receiver.
Yeah. What does this mean? George Pickens is showing people who he is. That's what he's doing. I love it. He's just showing people who he is. He's doing all the right things, as much as it be on him. Because at the end of the day, man, when somebody else controls your destiny in a sense, or, you know, they hold those type of decisions, well, don't do something stupid to make them make the decision not to roll with you. I mean, we got people out here who want this man to go out here and fumble the bag. They want him to fumble the bag. Some people want him to even fumble the $27 million. Well, it don't make no sense. Man, look at this story right here. Y'all remember when I told y'all about this story? Let me break this story on here real quick. Isn't this a bunch of nonsense? I'm sorry, the NFL should not allow this to happen. Somebody's got to tell me, what does Brandon Sorsby have on this league? Can somebody tell me, what does Brandon Sorsby have on this league and the NCAA? And as a matter of fact, it's not the NCAA. Do y'all realize that a judge actually allowed Brandon Sorsby, after betting on college football, actually found a loophole and allowed him to play for Texas. They said he could actually play for Texas Tech this year. But now, how crazy is this? After fighting to be reinstated into college football and play for Texas Tech, it says he intends to go into the NFL supplemental draft? This is a crying shame. This is a shame. The NCAA didn't want him playing. Some judge went around the NCAA. If I am the NFL, Sorsby cannot enter the NFL. He cannot enter the NFL supplemental draft. No, we're not letting you do it. This dude admitted to betting on NC. Ain't no way. This is one of the craziest stories that we have going on in college football right now. It's crazy. And now he's going to enter the pros with a gambling problem in the NFL. Man, I'm telling you now, NFL better not touch this with a 10-foot pole. Don't touch it. Don't let this dude in. No. This dude needs to sit out an entire season. This dude needs to sit out an entire season. If a team want him next year, let him look at him next year. I would not let this dude back into the NFL. I mean, I wouldn't let him in the NFL. I wouldn't, because just seems ungrateful to me. Brandy. This dude Sorsby betted on college football while playing. And the NCAA suspended him, or basically said he couldn't play for Texas Tech. Texas Tech fought the NCAA so that Brandon Sorsby could play for Texas Tech this year. And they found some kind of crazy loophole. I think there was one judge recused himself. Then another judge came in and said that he could actually do it through some crazy explanation. And after all of this, now he says, forget that, I'm going to the NFL in the supplemental draft. This is banana bonkers. This is absolutely bananas. No team should even do this. No team. No team should do this. No NFL team should allow this man to play football for them. Not one team. This is crazy.
Mental draft. You get in a call with the league and you say, hey, I want to select. And one of the paths for Brendan Sorsby here is to declare for the NFL supplemental draft. What in the world is the NFL supplemental draft? Well, we have not had this over here since 2019. But basically, the supplemental draft is an alternate selection process used by the NFL for college prospects who missed the regular NFL draft in April for a bunch of different reasons. If you're an academic reason, a legal reason, an eligibility issue, which of course is the case over here, the NFL creates a supplemental draft. Now, they have not had this since 2019. Like I said, the famous cases in recent history are Terrell Pryor, Josh Gordon is a good case, drafted by the Browns, and the most recent one is actually a player who's still in the NFL. Jalen Thompson in 2019 was selected by the Arizona Cardinals in the 5th round of the supplemental draft. He was signed this offseason by the Dallas Cowboys in a very big contract to be part of the Christian Park.
Well, I'd like to know what he did, though. Let's compare apples to apples. What did they do versus what Sorsby did? Because what Sorsby has done, that is the ultimate issue. You do not let somebody bet on sports in games that they're playing in. No way. You don't let them play. They're doing this type of stuff. Because the NFL, what did they do to the kid from Atlanta? No, I wouldn't let him in.
Harvard defense, but that's.
Yep. Hey, this is news to me, Brandy. I didn't know Jalen Thompson was drafted in the supplemental draft. I didn't know that.
The last player.
All right, Catherine and the kids, have a good night.
Draft. But the NFL has not had this since that year in 2019. This is not a televised thing. It takes 10 minutes. But the way it works is if you want to select a player in the supplemental draft, you get in a call with the league and you say, hey, I want to select this player in the 1st round. If you want them in the 2nd round, you say, I want them in the 2nd round. Until you say which pick you want. At the end, the NFL goes through the list, the order, and says, this team picked them first in this round. They had the highest pick in that round. They get this player. If you pick a player, for example, let's do the Jalen Thompson example. He was picked in the 5th round by the Cardinals in the 2019 supplemental draft. If you pick a player in the 5th round, that means you forfeit your 5th round pick in the next actual draft. So in that case, the Cardinals took him in the 5th round of the 2019 supplemental draft. They forfeited a 5th round pick in the 2020 NFL draft. If Brendan Sorsby ends up in a situation where he loses his eligibility and he goes into the supplemental route, this is going to be one of the most high-profile supplemental situations that we've had in NFL history, possibly. It's been a while since we've had something like this. You got to go back to the 90s for a case of a player of this magnitude. And Brendan Sorsby has a lot of talent. A lot of scouts around the NFL believe he would have been a 1st-round pick in the 2027 NFL draft. What do you do if he's in the supplemental draft? If you're a team that needs a quarterback, I don't know if it's the Jets, the Browns, the Steelers, whoever it is, to use a 1st-round pick, to use a 2nd-round pick. I think there's a real chance over here that a 2nd-round pick becomes a selection used by a team to get Brendan Sorsby on their team. In June, he joins their team, and all of a sudden now you have a quarterback who's supposed to be a 1st-round pick in 2027, and all you gave up was a 2nd-round pick in 2027 to get that player.
This is crazy. Now, y'all might not remember, I brought this up about Brendan Sorsby a few weeks ago, and it was being asked of Jerry Jones if he would be interested in Sorsby in the supplemental draft. And unless somebody steps in and stop this, he's probably going to be drafted, because it sounds like to me he's probably done some homework to see if there's an interest for him. Larry Hunter, I'm with you. No way would I get this guy in here. No way. Gregory Hicks said wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Demetrius, he said, gee, this is exactly how they do. No offense to anyone, but look at his ethnicity. Now, Demetrius Noel, let's dig in a little bit on this. So when we talk about his ethnicity, understand, no, the NCAA was fighting this. The NCAA said he could not play. They revoked his eligibility. So if there's anything here to, if it was a racial issue, it would have to be by the judge who did it. It would have to be by the judge because the NCAA fought this. It went to court and they won in court. It said it would be completely hypocritical because everyone who tests positive for a substance abuse issue should face zero consequences. This is serious. And I agree with you. He should not be allowed. See, the NCAA said we didn't want him playing. They didn't want him playing. But Texas Tech and I guess his representatives, they went to court and they won. And if I'm not mistaken, the first judge recused himself. I'm sorry. And another judge came in and did it. It's crazy. Please, I don't think the Cowboys would do this, though. I don't think they'd bring in Sorsby. 72 Chevelle said should have never paid his or college players at all. Stevie Wonder, no fun. Yeah, Stevie Wonder could have saw it, I think he says, but saw this coming. Oh, it's gonna get worse until they regulate it. Brandon Cup said if Puga's in counselor, then Sorsby needs better anonymous. And if I'm not mistaken, they may have did that too. Okay, 72 Chevelle, that's what it is. Appeal court overruled? Okay. Yeah, they fought this. Yeah, the NCAA fought this. Demetrius Noel said, the NFL is climbing up this same tree as FIFA of corruption. This is a disgrace. He shouldn't be allowed to be in there. Brandon Cup, this is probably some Pete Rose type of stuff. And they're going to I would not allow him to do this. I just wouldn't allow him to do it. Yeah, he's a quarterback, Brandy. And you know how this league does for quarterbacks. You know how they do. This league is quarterback crazy. It's absolutely quarterback crazy, even though they have done Shedeur Sanders like trash. And I'm sorry, if Cleveland were to get Sorsby, it'd just be a disappointment. Man, it's time to let Shedeur bring that franchise back to relativity. JTX Made, he said, breaking news. Trevon Diggs is working out with the Commanders. No surprise. No surprise. I think a lot of people kind of thought that he would probably fit in with, over there with Dan Campbell. If he wants to play, though, he needs to stay away from these streamers, man. Man, stay away from these streamers. These guys here, man, stay away from these guys. Okay, I hadn't seen anything on it. We'll probably report on it tomorrow. I think I'd already heard something about him, so we'll probably report on it tomorrow. All right, man. You know what? We'll do player interviews tomorrow. There'll be more to talk about with George Pickens because it's going to be a big deal. If George Pickens swats at a mosquito tomorrow, it's going to be a big deal. I mean, get ready. If George Pickens swats at a mosquito, people are going to be talking. So, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. The Shiesty will be back tomorrow. It'll be back for a limited time tomorrow. George Pickens stepping into practice. But I am so glad that this is happening. So glad that this is happening. Stay the course. Stay the course, George Pickens. Y'all keep your head up, Cowboys Nation. We're on to something. I believe this team is going to be absolutely incredible. I think the offense is going to hit on so many cylinders. I think they're going to find themselves with a great running game. The defense, as bad as that defense was last year, man, if you can just get us to mid-pack, Christian Parker, if you can just get us to 20, if you can just get us to 20, sky's the limit. An offense this good with a number 20 defense. Dak Prescott would be the second quarterback in a long time. He'd be the second quarterback in a long time. Patrick Mahomes is the other one. To win a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense. This offense is good enough. If you can just get this team between 15 and 22, probably gonna go a long way. With this offense, everybody stays healthy. JTX made said Pickens swat a mosquito. They gonna say he threw a punch at a teammate. Exactly. Man, Brandon Cup, 17. Man, he might be in the Super Bowl. 17 might be in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you. Appreciate you, 72 Chevelle. Yeah, I think we're in for a great, great season with Cowboys. Man, I don't want to say I cannot wait, but I can tell you this, I am ready for this season to start. Chef Pope said, breaking news, GP was caught playing hopscotch. Yes, sir. Yeah, 20 Cardinado. You know how it go. 20, not 20, 20. Man, we can just get to 20, man. Shoot, we in the game, bro. Boy, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Cowboys. Poobie D, I am with you. And Poobie D, if we can get a healthy season from CD this year, oh, man. I don't want to see one jet sweep by CD Lamb this year. I don't want to see one jet sweep. I don't want to see one jet sweep. You want to run jet sweeps, bring in Jaden Blue, line him up in the slot, and let him do them. Let him do them. I don't want to see no jet sweeps. I don't want to see Kevontae Turpin taking pitches out of the backfield. Kevontae Turpin on jet sweeps. Kevontae Turpin. Hey, I don't want to see none of that stuff, man. I'm ready to see Brian Schottenheimer definitely evolve this offense, and I think he will. But man, I'm excited. I'm telling you, I'm excited. George Pickens is in the building. Absolutely in the building. In the building. Got his physical. I'm sure he passed it. He'll be here for the installs the next 3 days. Brian Schottenheimer will probably give his interview tomorrow. So y'all be on the lookout. I'm probably going to come live early tomorrow. Because I'm sure Brian Schottenheimer will do a pre-OTA press conference because everybody's going to want to talk about George Pickens. So I'll be here with the Shiesty on. If that press conference is at 12, I'll be live 12 noon. I will be live 12 noon. I'm gonna go live twice tomorrow. I'll be live 12 noon. We'll get through that interview, and then we'll discuss it. I'll take a break, and then I'll come back again around 4:30 or 5. But I am sure they are going to do a press conference tomorrow, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Y'all hit that like button on the way out. Best chat on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk facts when let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.